of the patch. The opening series, BetBoom versus Aurora, is about to get underway. And, well, we've got some heroes that we've already seen before, Avery. I guess we've got one or two new ones. I think the fun part, though, is that we are seeing at least one hero that we saw before in the Slardar. You said everybody skips leg day? Apparently not Miro. Miro loves leg day, and he's going to be rocking the other facet today, as opposed to the one that we saw yesterday, which is the one where you steal armor. This guy works out the legs, man. He wants to go fast.
I mean, I can see this talent being good versus lineups with a lot of slows. So I think that's primarily the value, is getting you out of dodge when you're in trouble.
The battle begins.
There's not a lot of slows on this Aurora lineup, though, so maybe he just prefers it. Maybe the stealing armor in this game just doesn't seem to do anything, which I can kind of agree with. They're all magic damage oriented outside of this Wraith King, and even he is dealing overwhelming amounts, so maybe it's just the better talent by default here. But it will be interesting to see if he can actually make use of it in the team fights. And I'm also curious to see what GPK can do with this Storm, because the Storm we saw yesterday from XM just felt very underwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about that hero, but it did not seem to be doing enough damage early enough to deal with the onslaught that Falcons presented them with in that series yesterday. So will Storm be able to find more impact here? Can he get the damage scale going a bit faster than this Leshrac, than this Axe can bring to the table? We're going to see Spectral Blade again. I was pretty impressed by this yesterday. The damage output off this spell is just ridiculous for a passive that costs you nothing. It ends up being just an extra 300, 400 damage soul burn in the early fights, let alone the late game when you're hitting really hard.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it did, what, 6,000 damage in the game that we cast of it?
Yeah, it's a lot. It is quite good in terms of the scaling, as Fear was talking about.
I think one thing that it kind of reminds me of is that Wraith King is supposed to be a hero that gets in there and only gets a couple of hits in. And this kind of ensures the first hit crit Wraith King. You just want to do as much damage with that initial hit as you possibly can, because you're probably not going to get too many of them, as you usually get kited around. So kind of ensures like a guaranteed impact in a lot of team fights from this Wraith King. But it does mean this hero is going to be a lot weaker when it comes to the laning phase and the farming capability of the hero and the split pushing capabilities of the hero. There is a significant loss to it. Personally, I look at Wraith King as probably one of the best examples of the facet system, in that I think that both are viable. We see the win rate of both being very high. 23 Savage, though, is going to be losing his first life once that Wraith form expires. That'll be first blood for Mira.
I mean, this hero just still has some of the laning difficulties, so only 1.5 armor basically to start. That sucks for Slardar, who's outputting so much extra physical here. His move speed's still pretty clunky. Just can't escape. And Elder Titan pretty much has no synergy with the Wraith King early, so this could be a problematic lane for Aurora over the first 5 or 10 minutes. I don't really see how you get out of this. Like, sure, you have some extra armor reduction from the ET now off the deconstruction. You can get in here, you can lower their armor off the Spirit. We see it ticking down, but can you play offensively with that is the big question. I think that's where the synergy would lie in this lane. If the Wraith King can start chasing people down, you have no armor left. That sounds a bit scary. But I feel like Slardar and Muerta just sit there and trade with you, and you get out-traded.
I mean, already you look at this Wraith King, and I feel like he wishes he had the skeleton build. Because both for better laning presence to work with the Elder Titan, but also, if he's going to have a hard lane, you would have a better recovery with the skeletons, right?
It's just all about that payoff now. If you can get there, you're going to be a lot happier. But can you get there on even footing? So far in mid, pretty even. Lesh is going to get some extra mana back. Should just be a wash of a lane, to be honest. We saw GPK throwing out some of those remnants, though. They look cool.
Yeah. I will say another facet choice in this game, the Crystal Maiden. I thought that with a Storm Spirit, we would go for the other one, right? The one that gives mana to allies when you're casting spells. But instead, he went for a Frozen Expanse. So this means longer cast range and bigger AoE for Crystal Maiden spells. I just thought, if you're gonna go the other facet, it would be with a Leshrac or Storm Spirit type hero, right?
Extra cast range on Crystal Maiden is insane. This is one of the heroes that's very precariously balanced around the fact that her spells are overtuned, but they're on a Crystal Maiden. So anytime you can tune those spells even further up, it just becomes absurd.
Going for the kill, but Jabs intercepts. Q takes a decent amount of damage, but Jabs makes sure that he doesn't die here. Nice two-man crush. And pushing him back into the silence. Just beautiful stuff here from Save on his signature Muerta. And they're going to maybe fight out Ollie too. Save, he's going to get a little, the stomp lands, but Ollie can't go for the kill. And he's still in danger. Another bash, another crush, another kill for BetBoom.
As lane continuing to become harder and harder. They get that triple range creep pushed into them. And like you said, there's no wave clear, there's no skeletons. Elder Titan has no nukes. There's no way to deal with the double and triple waves just getting shoved into Aurora on their safe lane. They pay a big price. This is 2 deaths going BetBoom's way, but a bunch of range creep denies versus 23, who misses out a huge amount of CS, and then this lane is going to shove against him as well here.
Another good dead shot, bouncing him back in for the extra bit of damage. And Miro, he had another crush. There was a possibility there of getting yet another kill, but
some
honestly,
fates are worse than death.
Yeah, they're winning the lane already. There's no reason to try and potentially jeopardize that by going too hard, trying to get these kills.
And I think this dual offlane for Aurora is similar in some ways. It's a double melee lane with a Nyx axe. Like, the lane synergy, nothing to write home about. It's more just getting Jabs whatever you can here to push him into that mid game. They're doing pretty well though. They survived a lot of the early spins, didn't give away some crazy amount of kills. It's about as much as you can ask for. The punish continues.
Stomp, trying to stop this, a TP in from the Nyx assassin because Jabs is cutting waves. This bottom lane, as you said, is just not going the best. So better for these supports to try and combo up here and win one of these lanes. And it looks like they'll be able to get Save off of it, though Save, he did choose for the Ofrenda facet, so when he comes back, he's actually going to come back right into lane, which is going to be pretty interesting impact. It means he keeps his TP up, potentially to have an impact in other lanes, and also just lessens the amount of time that Miro is solo.
He chose not to go to it. So joke's on you.
Oh, okay.
Rather have the bottle refill.
I wonder how you, did he kill it?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can kill it
chose?
before
Okay.
you go. So you always have a choice.
Killed it last second.
He'll get to plan another one here, wherever he wants.
Radiant's middle tower
I feel like this
under
is probably
attack.
better than the late game, but I guess if you feed early, you know, helps you feed efficiently. You can get back to lane and die again really fast, and then
I wonder if you
get reported at record rate.
Yeah. I feel like it would be really good if you could place it mid and you would be able to refill the bottle, but I assume you get 0 fountain regen from that respawn, so you probably can't refill the bottle that way, so you probably always have to do the TP play.
That is probably true, yeah. I actually didn't think about that, but that would make sense if that's how it works.
Somebody test it and let us know.
Looking for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune. They'll get split here pretty evenly. Axe continuing to cut bottom here, but it is BetBoom coming out ahead on these lanes overall, especially that top lane. Though I will say 23 is... He's gotten some time to recover a bit here off that Muerta death, and he's making the most of it. He's honestly not far behind anymore, considering how badly this lane went in the first few stages. And this is pretty important for him because he doesn't want to go jungle as earlier as he used to with the Skeletons build.
They slash as they chase down Jabs. Jabs might still get the kill on the Crystal Maiden. He just needs another spin, but he won't get it in time.
Spin on spin action. But he's not level 6 yet. The XP going Nightfall's way. They just created a huge advantage. 14 denies. Pays off here. So they get the ult first, make it work. That's a big win. Slowing down this Axe's momentum. We've seen this hero rise to the top of these win rates for a reason.
Yeah.
You can slow him down in the early game, it makes all of that trajectory a lot more difficult.
Worst part is he used a TP2, so he's going to have to run out to lane. At least he has phase boots, though, for the job. Still top net worth right now, dead even on the mid lane matchup. They're both sitting at 4K. So maybe Aurora can do something to help out this last track, though, as we say that, Lornoff. He turned to him, and he's already dead. Gets ganked by the 2 supports of BetBoom, and the 2 supports of Aurora show up about 5 seconds too late to have an impact. And also, frankly, their heroes are going to have worse impact in this these sort of mid-fights.
I mean, these are not fights you want to get sucked into if you're Aurora. You have Nyx Elder Titan. What are you doing in these skirmishes versus Morta Maiden, right?
Yeah.
Double melee versus double range support duo. The 2 range supports also just have way stronger early spells. More spin to win action, but that is a tanky axe with double bracer plus the facet here. A lot of extra strength to cut through. Unlikely you're finding the solo kill anytime soon. And Jabs should be able to recover off some triangle stacks here. But BetBoom putting themselves in a very good position. The other thing about this Elder Titan now is, you know, he has this deconstruction. He can remove armor from heroes off the Spirit. It feels pretty good with some of these physical-oriented lineups that can take advantage of that synergy.
Yeah.
Nobody really does that for this Aurora squad, right? I mean, I guess Axe kind of likes armor reduction a little, but even that. It's basically just the Wraith King going in and swatting somebody.
Jabs. He's gonna die here. It looks like Q's gonna get run down by the spin as well. GPK used the last little bit of his mana to ensure the kill, and he'll tank up for Toronto Tokyo to get out of the tower range. So making sure everybody gets out. BetBoom keeping a very clean game, 8-1 now. Deconstruction also does magic resistance reduction though, right?
Yes.
In which case, I mean, Leshrak's really gonna like that.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, so I guess if you just throw a Spirit out in the fight and you keep it on them, you're getting the magic synergy.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's pretty nice.
You're getting the natural order, plus you're getting the deconstruction over time, which a longer fight, you know, Leshrak pops a Bloodstone with all that lost magic armor, magic resistance rather than...
Yeah, I guess it's weird. It's like you want the physical synergy for the lane, but you want the magic synergy for the fights.
Jabs weakens up the ancient stack for Lornoff to come in and take it. I was thinking about, you say the stacks for the axe, and it was just like, well, if the axe takes the stacks, that makes Lornoff a little sad.
I feel like he needed him though. Where is Jabs gonna recover in this game if he gets those stacks taken?
Yeah.
Feels like he's too far behind. He's not even close to a Blade Mail, let alone a Blade Mail Blink, which is what you really want in this game. Burst the Jug, burst the Storm. Q getting scouted out here, so probably not find much off this Vendetta. And this is going to turn into Nightfall farming up the map. That's how BetBoom liked to play, put him in a position where he's going to 1v5 these late games. And he gets off to a lead. They're just going to play around it. Not going to have to push the tempo too hard here, and at some point they're going to threaten Roshan with this Slardar lineup. They can kind of just play through some small pickoffs in GPK, look for some fights in these jungle areas or the power runes especially. Considering how much stronger they are at contesting these power runes, if you get 1 or 2 more on this Storm compared to the Lesh, you're probably going to be able to take some aggressive smoke plays.
Yeah.
And you have the support duo to enable it. Feed off some tangos.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
GPK getting the full spa treatment today.
Radiant are scanning.
Play for a 12-minute power rune. Aurora praying that they get something for Lornoff to play with, but it is top. GPK will take the invisibility.
Where do you go if you're Aurora? I mean, can you just go bottom and push this tower?
Yeah, try and gank a Juggernaut? That sounds pretty hellish.
Yeah, I don't think you can really force it. I mean, if you were ahead, you could maybe just bring this Lesh to a tier 1 and start pushing it with, you know, Nyx Invis somewhere backstabbing and an ET defending him. But I think at this point, you're just getting jumped at burst. Storm is going to pull you in. You're going to get nuked down. There's going to be an Omni Slash there. Smoke will get broken from the low ground position on the Nyx. Very obnoxious break for BetBoom here, as Q will do his best to slow this game down.
Well, it's good.
Nothing.
Good work by Aurora not to, like, as you said, force things.
Yeah, and
it
that was
like they were going to smoke and, like, force bottom and something like that, but they decided to chill. They're just going to keep farming away.
That was an important smoke to break. That would have ruined Jab's day entirely here. And it would have given Storm a lot of momentum. You get a power rune into a smoke, into a kill, into farming enemy camps. It's like a 1,000 gold swing. You just prevent it. Downside is Nightfall is still absolutely free farming, and I don't think you're much closer to kicking him out of this area or slowing him down. Because your Axe, this game is just so slow, man. This guy needs some more stacks.
Yeah, especially if he's going to be going the Blade Mail before the Blink Dagger. So you're not going to have any playmaking potential for Aurora unless it's around a Nyx Assassin setup on Vendetta.
Needs that Grizzy.
Yeah, somebody, they need all 5 of them need the Grizzy at this point.
He'd be cashing it in right now, I'll tell you that much.
Stack, little Wisdom Rune. Meanwhile, BetBoom getting aggressive on the mid lane. I mean, it shows you got 2 supports across the river here. They feel very much in control. Now they're really making sure Aurora don't even get a chance to contest one of these power runes. They cover both sides of it.
That's a value D-ward. We're seeing the phylactery on the Nyx. I'm assuming this procs the mana burn as well.
Yeah, probably. So when you hit him, it's a double mana burn thing?
Yeah. The thing about the mana burns, though, the more I've watched it, is like they're a good value, but you can't really drain someone because it's based on your current. So they're kind of diminishing returns at a certain point.
Sure.
On the same target, at least. But it's nice for the fights. If you're going to throw out a bunch of spells on different targets, just remove pretty large chunks of mana from everybody. Going to be nice versus the Storm here. For sure.
Rotation from Miro that spooks Jabs, and he's going to head back to the jungle. But you can see BetBoom just methodically taking more and more control of the map and seeing if Aurora push back against them. And Aurora say, okay, you can have the hard camp, but we're going to still take the Ancients.
Radiant are
They're just
scanning.
camping their ward, trying to look for some sort of pickoff with this Storm. Aurora not giving it up. They're continuing to maintain control over their Ancients, really important for their lineup. At least maintain some sort of stability here versus the Nightfall farm rate.
I mean, I look at it differently. I look at it as right now, BetBoom is bullying you. And they're going to keep bullying you until you punch them back in the nose, you know?
I mean,
they're going to keep taking your Ancients. They're going to keep looking for... They're eventually going to get a power rune that's strong enough for the Storm Spirit to just, you know, really aggressively take a fight against Aurora.
Yeah, I agree. This does feel like the Aurora we've seen in the past, where very defensive, very slow.
Yeah.
We're going to win late game, but are you going to get to that late game? You just keep conceding map control, conceding towers. If you give up big core pickoffs like that Lesh mid on top of it, then this game is really going to spiral, because again, you're probably not getting the first Roshan in this game. At some point, BetBoom are just going to walk in there and claim it with Healing Ward, Slaughter Amp. Your lineup is good in fighting around the pit, so there's some comeback potential there, but again, because BetBoom have Slaughter or Jug, they don't have to commit everybody in that pit to kill the Roche. It's not like you're going to get some crazy 5-man stomp in there. And there's your third tier 1 down. So your Ancient control disappearing pretty quickly here. But you did finish the Radiance for the Wraith King at a pretty solid time, considering how that early laning stage went for him. And he is almost level 13. So 23 pretty strong if he can start to get active here.
This is a tough hero to kill. But they do have the Elder Titan who missed his ultimate. They needed that extra damage. Now the turnaround's going to come through as GPK makes the jump in for his 2 supports to follow up the initiation. And Omni Slash coming in from behind. And they are going to wipe these 3 ganking heroes. Miro will have some revenge.
And straight into Roche here, or?
Might as well. You've got a Slardar.
Yeah, that is not the place you wanted a gank like this to go bad. And did it miss? Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it didn't pull him back.
How do you miss that?
I don't know.
That is brutal. I'm not even sure what it killed him, to be honest. Slardar was damn tanky there. And this is your Radiance reveal fight into 3-on-5. Not what Aurora wanted out of that exchange. They'll pick up a freebie, and the Roche was not killed by BetBoom during this period. So honestly, not the worst outcome after a pretty botched game from Aurora, but you're continuing to cede a lot of momentum here. I mean, it just comes down to Jabs, right? Like, Jabs is going to have to get active now. He finally got to that Blink Blade Mail. You have level 2 ultimate. You're going to have to start getting some kills, getting some armor stacks, and pulling this mid game back. off some sick calls.
Spot Miro again. Don't know if that's the hero you want to go on, but they do get saved to just walk into them in the mid lane. So Save maybe getting a little bit too comfortable with the control of the map they had just 5 minutes ago. Keeps on playing really aggressively into Aurora. And the I think he died because of the Ofrenda, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they were camping, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Is that where it was? He actually came back on their side of the map?
I think so. He got there very fast. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Accelerated feed mechanism. Nice facet.
All right.
Just making sure to get the max value out of it right now.
See, Aurora made the mistake that they chain stunned him and killed him too quickly. They needed to give him time to plant another one.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, now he just respawns in the fountain. That's boring.
It's going Yules first, too. A nice setup here. Nice counterplay to the Axe. Yeah, makes sense. Some decent value here versus the cores Aurora have. They're going to make another smoke play, try and be aggressive. They know they have the lead, but they have thrown some of it away, and I feel like they would have gotten Roshan by this point pretty quickly if they'd wanted to.
Oops. Double ward. That's not good.
Oh, smoke on
Smoke's gonna break. Get out the calling, plus the crush. On to 2. Can they follow this up? They're gonna stop jabs, go for him first. But GPK, he gets caught in a stun. They don't have enough chain stun, though. Couldn't finish him off in that time. The Omni Slash bounces over to the Wraith King. That's going to be the reincarnation. But the Nyx Assassin gets the execution, and they don't have GPK either. So it's going to be up to Nightfall to carry the rest of this fight. But he's doing a great job of this Blade Dance, finishing off the second life. 23 tries to make a break for it. Hit by the stomp. Drawn to Tokyo. They need a little bit more. Miro has to come in and crush the Wraith to make sure that 23 Savage doesn't get the return kill on the Juggernaut.
Yeah, that was very close. He took a little bit of extra damage off the curse at the end. They'd gotten that Jug. I don't think Aurora would have been too sad about that, considering they were the ones who got jumped first there. Just very quick jump off the calling placed by Save. You get the starter jump on 2, and then that fight is already favorable for you. A smoke for Aurora that put them right into the jaws of death very quickly. More snowball for the Juggernaut here. We're going to see just how strong Jug is in this new patch. If Nightfall can't carry this game, then I don't know. Like, you can't really ask for a better situation for this hero, right? He's already level 15. He's going to have his Mjolnir, continuing to scale up at a ridiculous rate. He's going to have access to every objective on the map that he wants. What more can a Jug ask for?
Yeah, it really does seem like a dream situation and a patch that already favors him, so. Yule's almost done for Save. He was also the one who got the shard there from the Tormentor. Mjolnir's done for the Juggernaut. And GPK is going that build that we saw from Lara. The Witchblade gives you extra armor, then you have the Eternal Shroud, gives you a bunch of magic resistance.
Double damage.
And then Kaya Sanj was the next build up, right?
Yeah, Grove Bow definitely helps here. Give him a little extra damage boost. Maybe feels like they're not going to lack damage in these mid-game fights, especially with supports outputting a lot of extra magical burst.
Yeah. Slardar and Muerta feel like your scale from the heroes that are not your carry is pretty good.
And, I mean, Eternal Shroud versus Lesh and Elder Titan. Never going to be bad. Here's that Roche Force. Ideally, they want to put this on GPK, I think, but maybe they're content just giving it to Nightfall and sieging some buildings if they really want to push the tempo here. And Aurora nowhere close to stopping this. So conceding more of the map, more of the objectives in this game. So this tells me you're going to want to be pushing tier 2s, for sure. This is not an Aegis you're just going to run around and try and find the pickoffs on. This is when you let the Jug assault the buildings. Doesn't mean you have to go with him to do it. I could see BetBoom making a smoke play to another portion of the map, but let Nightfall just push bottom in here. Try and get the fight that you connect to.
Blind. Miro doesn't find the opening, though. Q was just in a slightly different spot than Miro imagined. But they are pushing Aurora out of the triangle area. They take this tier 2. They could also take enemy Tormentor as
Dire's
well.
bottom tower is under attack.
There's no way Aurora are jumping this jug, so I would actually prefer the smoke play here from BetBoom. Let Nightfall solo here, smoke across the map, or TP smoke to the other side, and I think you're almost guaranteed to catch a core on that upper side of the map. And they're going to see Nyx on their triangles. They're going to take that freebie instead. Nothing wrong with that here.
Nice dodge there from GPK.
No, this is the right play. I still don't think Aurora can jump Nightfall here, despite seeing heroes back. It's just no good entry into that type of fight. So free tier 2, midway pushing in, take an outpost, claim another tier 2, and you're going to constrict the map very quickly here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Stupendous.
When are Aurora going to take that fight? Or are you willing to take it into this Aegis? I don't know if you are. I don't think your lineup's that well equipped to deal with double life here, considering you have to commit the Jug or the Nyx in off the initiation, and then you're just kind of stuck there.
So you're just giving up all 3 tier 2s
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
with all your ultimates
Is
online.
under attack.
The fresh Eternal Shroud picked up. I'm not sure if I like that item for Axe, but I guess he's supposed to have enough armor.
Yeah,
I don't think he
know.
actually does right now, but
I feel like you need the BKB more than the Eternal Shroud to guarantee you can get spells off when you jump in.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
yeah, I would agree with that.
Like you go in, you get silenced by the calling, you get frostbit, you get Slardar stun. All these things are to prevent you from potentially getting your ultimate off on a big key target, especially this Jug that you need to all in here. Not a huge fan of the Shroud, but it is an Eternal Shroud, so, you know, can only go so wrong with that item, I suppose.
True.
The Shivas for Lornoff would be the really big item this game, an item that Aurora can rally behind in the fights. Amp up a lot of their damage, ET on top of that would be really nice, but it's a long ways away here. And until he has it, he can't really just frontline versus the Slardar amp. Pretty debilitating for the Lesh to deal with here. So Aurora just stuck on their base, continuing to give BetBoom everything they want here
Dire's bottom tower is under
on the
attack.
hope of a high ground Elder Titan defense.
Flick Crush, a jump in, an Impale response though, catches 2 and stops some of this initiation. BetBoom, they're now in a really bad spot, man.
Ooh,
3-man Earth Splitter into that big hit from the Splitter as well, almost enough to finish off 2 supports instantly. They get 1, Slardar gets low, the Wraith King loses his reincarnation, so even on the perfect initiation for Aurora, or counter initiation, it still does not go that right.
This is just a 6 stomp by Ollie. Catches 3 into a split Earth, into the Earth Splitter. Try and say that fast in the fight. And that's the high ground defense that is pretty strong for them. Like Leshrac stun's coming down. Nyx Assassin, you're not going to see him because he's going to be super deep in the base. And this Elder Titan Stomp, you don't have a lot of heroes that can deal with it outside of Nightfall spinning in. Though I do question whether BetBoom had to take that fight aggressively like that. Like, I feel like you can just siege with the Juggernaut here and maybe force the Axe to jump Yules him up. There's not much threat on Nightfall. Problem is, if you're committing to this type of style, like, Aurora on the sides of the map, and you're not gaining a net worth lead right now.
Uh-oh. Q knows. He's been spotted. Oh, those bounty runes. Get to the bounties, Q. You can do it. He, in fact, could not do it.
Nice little solo kill for GPK. Gave him the gem earlier, so he is guaranteed to 100-0 that Nyx. He'll regen his mana pretty quickly here. Aegis is out. So maybe you're not going high ground right now, but you're going to continue to farm the map. We did see that mana picked up for the Wraith King, so that is his version of creating some sort of lane or map pressure without the Skelly boys. Kind of an interesting adaptation here.
Okay.
Hero slowly turning into Alchemist. Maybe they'll give Alchemist some little goblin boys and he can turn into Wraith King.
How many times have we seen Aurora in this position?
Every time,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, every time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The funny part about Aurora is, for every other team, I think this would be like an 80-20 or 90-10 sort of game. Like you're in a really rough position. Aurora, this is their jam.
Oh, this is where they thrive.
Smoke's gonna break, doesn't get the jump. GPK don't want to follow up, does get jumped on. They get the follow-up initiation, though it's not quite good enough. He is too tanky with this build. They cannot finish him off. And now Aurora, it's all gone wrong. GPK activating the Bloodstone, has enough mana to be able to jump around these heroes. Toronto Tokyo with just a beautiful freezing field, isolating and separating these various heroes of Aurora to various corners of the map. A call off, but he still has an Axe. Nightfall gets a little bit low, tried to go for the dunk, but he wasn't low enough. Had 150 HP to spare. And Aurora, the rest of them are going to have to retreat. How many buybacks did they use out of that?
They fought anybody, right?
Nobody?
It was just the reincarn. I mean, that was a lot closer than I think Nightfall expected it to be.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to respect the fact that this Axe is a one-man army.
I mean, he was a one-man army in that fight. He got stuck in the bottom of the trees and Yule's dub. But managing to get the call off. I mean, these blink calls are just everything in the fight for Aurora. Like, they have to land from jabs. They have to land on the right targets.
Q. He's going to die so many times to GPK in this game.
He is struggling in the fights. The calling is really hurting Q's ability to get in there deep and survive for a second round of spells. And we saw there, they started on GPK. That was not even close to doing anything to him. He is way too tanky, and they do not have the physical to cut through him right now.
So if they can't kill the Storm, and you can't kill the Slardar because he's got Aghanim Scepter.
It's Jug, right? You have to find this Jug with the Axe call. That's where your damage is going to come from. If you get him in the call and you can stop ult him afterwards, like, there is a real chance you can burst him at almost any point in this game.
Is under attack.
At least until Wind Wakers come out. Then you're absolutely screwed, but... Hey, nobody buys Wind Waker anymore. It got nerfed.
Yeah, what was the nerf to the item?
100 more gold or something. No, it had a cooldown nerf.
Dude, it needed a cooldown nerf. That was way too crazy.
Yep, Cyclone increased by 3 seconds. Actually, the same amount of gold.
Is 3 seconds enough?
3 seconds is a lot of time. Something that made that item really broken in the late game is you have any sort of extra cooldown reduction or refreshers or all this nonsense and arcane blinks, and like you put this Cyclone on heroes like Puck or low cooldown mobility heroes, and they're just suddenly untouchable.
Yeah. So
3 seconds does make a big difference. But obviously that item still has ridiculous late game utility. Scotty for Nightfall, big item in this Axe Jug matchup, just trying to tank up as much as possible. And we do see the Shivas for the Leshrac, so to me that's the biggest item for Aurora in this game, maybe. Like, this allows your Lesh to frontline a lot more, allows him to amp up the damage, be more of a threat, especially if you can get multiple heroes in a stomp or call. Like, the chain stun potential from this Aurora lineup, you cannot underestimate it. Even though they're behind, if you catch 2 or 3 in a call, you impale 2 or 3, there's a stomp on 2 or 3, there's a split earth on 2 or 3, you're gonna win that fight.
which is why BetBoom are just going to secure their advantage more and more with another Roche. So we'll see Aegis and the Roshan banner. New Roshan banner put to use at some point, I'm sure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It should be a good game for it if you're willing to push with the Jug. Should be able to use it pretty reliably and pretty quickly here. You just walk down a lane.
You know what's going to happen?
Ooh, Ags for the Storm.
It's going to play against them. They're going to use the banner to keep their creeps alive, but then Axe is going to blink in and get a call.
Oh, it's true.
And all those units aren't going to die after he spins 3 or 4 times. They're just going to keep hitting the Axe.
Oh. By the way,
Yeah.
This is by far the most, I mean, we haven't seen a lot, but GBK sitting on 29 galvanized stacks? That sounds like a lot. Like, he is 6-0 right now.
Jesus. Slardar gets jumped before he can get off the crush and actually gets a little bit low. They finish him off. They actually got him.
Nightfall.
Now, Omni Slash on the Q, bounces over to Ollie. Okay, the 2 supports get gone on by the Omni Slash, and they get killed, but still, 23 jabs. They get another one, another dunk. Now, Nightfall, he doesn't have either one of his Omni Slashes right now.
He's in trouble.
And jabs can get another call off, though he's de-saved. He goes through save instead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So they'll get him a potential third dunk. Damn, that dunk did a lot. All right, man's rocking some armor now.
Yeah, he's got 8 stacks all of a sudden. Cloak of Flames to go with it. This axe starting to tank up here. And just not the initiation bet we're looking for. The damage is really far here. And again, once you're locked in there, if you don't have BKB, you are getting chain stunned down. It doesn't matter how tanky you are. The Vortex just didn't catch enough heroes here from GBK on the backline to bail the Slardar out. And you get an Omni Slash that kills both supports, and you still have an Aegis, but you can't man fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Aurora looking very strong in this fight, to be honest. And BetBoom are going to have to think a lot more about how they're jumping and who they're jumping here, because it is no longer as straightforward as we'll take anybody.
Why is Aurora the way they are? You know what I mean? I feel like this team makes this situation work more often than maybe any other team in Dota. Do you think that they think about the late game in a different way? Do you think they're better team fighters in the late game? Or do you think some of it is draft? Like they literally draft with an eye more towards what the game looks like post 30 minutes?
God works in mysterious ways, Austin. Who are we to argue with how he decides our pathways? I mean, this team is kind of
Under attack.
a team that got built out of that Talon lineup with 23 to some degree in their play
Radiant's
style.
bottom tower
Yeah.
is under
And that
attack.
team was very similar. Very greed focused, very scale heavy, outplays you in the late game. I think that is their strength as a team, honestly, the late game team fighting and itemization and synergy. Like, that's where they shine. So to play for that is not necessarily bad, but it can feel very clunky and it can get outpaced by a lot of these teams who have really strong early games.
But they also draft for it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
this game, they had like these terrible side lanes.
Yeah, they think about it and they draft for it and they're happy to play that way.
Dude, don't do it again, save. Oh my God. I can't believe. Dude, Japs was sitting there, man.
I don't think he saw it. Maybe he saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, he backed out at the last
I'll
second
scan him.
and didn't see save respawning, but they knew he was going there.
I mean, you can say that, like, oh, why are Aurora so slow? They shouldn't be so slow. But honestly, I kind of respect that they just lean into it and are like, you know what, we're just going to play our style. Yeah, maybe it loses some games, but it maybe also wins us some games other teams wouldn't win.
Yeah.
And we're going to see where it goes over a long term. I can kind of get behind that. If anything, it brings some spice to the scene. It's like, you got all these Western teams, Western European teams playing to dominate the lanes for 2 years. And then you got these guys who are like, I'll see you at the 60-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen a fair amount of complaints about like how teams don't have as defined styles anymore. Everybody like steals from each other far too much. Where the old days of Dota, right, you had very defined styles between regions and even teams, but Aurora is a great example of a modern Dota team that definitely has a set style that is in contrast to many other teams.
And honestly, it's kind of fun to watch.
Well, maybe not for the first 30 minutes where
No,
you're like, well,
but at this point,
dumpstered, but it's a fun comeback potential.
Lotus.
Grabbing these two, Lotus back, the Omni Slash, and it's
Where'd
the
he go?
Raid King.
What the
now
hell?
Jabs is back on a play, gets the call onto this Juggernaut, but the damage just quite isn't there because the ult's up on 23. Wasn't able to put any physical damage during that period of time.
Oh,
The
but he's dying.
Lotuses are really helping out, though. A Frostbite back at Jabs. He
Is it enough?
can he get the call to finish off? Okay, he gets the Crystal Maiden. Still, the first life up on the Juggernaut. Remember, he has the Aegis, so he is willing to go in and die if it means winning the fight right now.
they're getting mana burned out. The Knicks down. They're going to recoup their mana, recoup their HP off this healing ward. This healing ward is going to
Dire's
make Aurora feel really bad in this interval. And Butterfly delivered for Nightfall at the right time.
Age is going to expire in 45 seconds. BetBoom.
I mean, you can concede a lane here. Like, you rather concede the lane than get sucked into another bad fight. You don't have reincarnation. You don't have your axe.
I mean, is it one lane? Is BetBoom going to keep going? They have the time on the Aegis to keep it going.
This is going to be close, though, because you're expiring and this axe is respawning. There's another glyph because that melee racks went down. So if you get caught here in a situation where Jabs can land some mega call on you, it's spooky, but you do have that Butterfly. You have Elven Tunic. Nightfall has hit his peak. He has not died once this game. Is he willing to push it? He says no. He will respect the Jabs axe. And we saw the BKBs come out for Aurora there as well. They ended up going back for the BKB on the Wraith King and on the axe despite the Eternal Shroud. AC gonna help deliver some extra physical damage here as well, but those two BKBs are big because you can just commit in the jump now on the Juggernaut. There's not much you can do to them while that's happening, but if you can get a Wind Waker up of your own, it would be pretty influential here, as we saw one come out for Lornov. None for BetBoom as of yet. We also saw the impact of that Lotus Orb from Ollie in that fight. Really influential item here to throw on the axe or the Wraith King when they go in. If you can reflect that Omni Slash, it's huge. And a shield rune for Lornov here.
That is massive. Nightfall, he charges in, but he managed to get the Sword Slash. Oh, man. The next assassin just gone instantly, but they do manage to get the Crystal Main. Jabs backing out into Miro, but Miro's in a great position to hit the crush and just fight this one out. The spin keeps going from Nightfall. He starts backing himself away. He doesn't want to lose his Deathless game just yet. Yule's up to the high ground where Save is, so Leshrack's going to deal with him while the axe is being gone on by the Storms here. Lornov got that kill, but now he needs to try and get out.
GPK doing so much work with Arcane Rune and Parasma on the back line.
Ollie on his buyback. Can he save his allies?
He's out of mana.
Wait, no, maybe it's GPK who's going to die. No, he gets the Vortex on all three of them, pulling him into the spin. And now it's just a mosh pit of death. And Nightfall is the commander of. They'll take the Wraith. Got out once. Back up a little bit. Let the Healing Ward do its work to make sure he doesn't die. And now go back into it on the second life of 23 Savage.
Man, these Split Earths are doing work in the fight, but it is not near enough. Versus the HP just coming back into BetBoom off this Healing Ward. No one can kill it. You're getting multiple ones off in a fight. Everybody is regaining so much of the damage you put into them. And they could not find that axe jump on the Jug. It got Yules by Save initially. Huge play by him, but no BKB coming out from Jabs early. This is just going to be Megas here. No buybacks as Aurora were all in on that fight. And it came down to who jumped first. And the big Yules from Save.
Also, this tanky Storm Spirit, man, it's such a bait.
It really is.
Like, traditionally, when you think of Storm Spirit, you think that, like, this guy's squishy. If you hit it with one stun, you should all in him. But in this situation, he was tanky enough that they just group up for the Vortex, essentially.
Jabs just continuing to get Yules on these jumps.
Yeah, keep hitting the calls, but if you don't have your carry behind you, and if you don't actually, can't do any blade melt damage because you're getting Yules the entire time, doesn't do anything for you. Lornov can't stay alive with a Bloodstone. That's going to be it for game one. BetBoom. Well, they had very good control of this game. Aurora tried to make it spicy, but BetBoom just a little bit too methodical with their play, I would say. Did not give up too many of their advantages. It's time for the Horde, as they are going to be on the side of Aurora. Not only are we going to see the Abyssal Horde, but we're also going to see the Bone Guard for Wraith King. They are going to out-summon BetBoom. They say a 5 versus 5, we're not good enough for that. But a 20 versus 5, we like those odds.
Oh, I thought you were going to say after he lost with the other facet, now he's going to try the second one. Well, I mean, what happens if you lose with both facets? The hero ultra suck?
On a hero that's 60% win rate, I believe that means you suck.
That's a rough one. This one should be cool. Now, this is the old Necronomicon units, if you haven't seen them.
Yep.
They brought those back, but they don't have the True Sight and they don't have the Purge. Otherwise, they're pretty similar. And like magic damage instead of pure. But they're pretty solid if they add up in a fight. Like, they are influential. You see hotspot for the Phoenix again. Looking for that stun ray damage. Big one here is the OD, though, because this hero is always strange in any patch. He went for the mana allergy side and the overwhelming devour for the Outworld Destroyer.
Very surprised by that.
Yeah, I actually feel like I prefer the other one on paper because I just don't think the heal ends up mattering too much for this hero.
Yeah, did anybody like mana allergy last patch?
No.
I don't think so. So,
like, you're generally not playing this hero in the heart of the fight getting low and then, oh, I'm healing up off mana allergy. What are you going to do about it?
Okay, to be fair, he's playing against the Leshrac. If there's any time you use mana allergy, it's got to be against Leshrac.
That is true. Could be. It could be pretty nice off him.
Yeah, he's going to out-Bloodstone heal the Bloodstone Leshrac.
That is true, actually. Okay, well, that makes sense, actually, for this matchup. Especially if you can get it going. Gonna see Lifestealer. We have not seen this hero yet. He has some cool ones that scale up over the whole course of the game. Took the Corpse Eater here. 2 HP for every unit killed. A carry player's dream. Can't even complain about him having 700 last hits anymore. He's just scaling.
That's true. We also have the Abaddon, who went for the Mephitic Shroud. So this is the one where the barrier, the shield, it no longer bursts, but it acts as sort of a blade mail instead. So every single time you do damage to the barrier, you receive damage off of that one.
It looks different too.
Explosion. I think it.
Damn.
I feel like that's gotta
badass.
be good. I feel like that's gotta be better than regular shield pop.
Well, the difference is it has a cooldown difference, right? I think is the trade-off here.
Sure. I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Okay. I swear I read that somewhere. Maybe not.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because Phonic Shield is like a 6-second cooldown. So this version of the shield
No, I guess it's...
is 2 seconds longer.
Yeah, but I guess the cooldown's the same. So there's no downside, actually. I'm thinking versus Bat, if the up time's higher but the cooldown's worse, it's a downside, but there is no cooldown change, so...
Wait, what?
It just lasts longer.
No, it's 2 seconds. It's a 2 second longer cooldown. A Phonic Shield is 6 seconds.
Oh, it does. Okay, it does say that. All right, I was looking for that into it. Yeah. So my original guess was correct. So there is some downside there versus heroes like the Bat and Phoenix, where you might rather have more shields on a lower cooldown to dispel more things in the fight than the actual damage barrier.
Yeah.
That's my thought here. That's the trade-off. Otherwise, the shield is stronger. But in a game like this, where you are picking this Abaddon for the Phoenix Bat support duo, I might have gone the other direction.
To fall and rise again.
And there will be a neutral creep that claims Toronto Tokyo's life, wishes he had that 10% death timer reduction.
Man, they got big saves because they also have the cluster clock.
Dire structures
That's
are
true.
fortified.
I mean, this is what we're all here for, right?
23 turns around, throws out the stun on the save. Save.
There's the
There goes the
crickets.
cluster clock. Which one's real? They don't know. Save gets away.
I mean, that thing's good just because it's a dispel. Like, it guarantee removes all the damage DOT on you.
Yep.
That's just nice. It's just a strong passive ability, honestly.
Seems good.
Does have a decent cooldown here in 90 seconds, but I mean, for a spell that literally saves you from death on a hero that is probably the most prone to dying of any support in Dota 2, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So they're going to have a Phonic Shields, and they're going to have this Hex to cluster cluck people.
Yeah, what happens if you cluster cluck somebody and then you shield the chicken?
What happens if you shield, then cluster cluck? Does the fake chickens also have a shield? Probably not. In which case, you know the real one is kind of like a Phantom Lancer.
It's too complicated for me.
I don't know. We're gonna get all these answers as the game moves along. Upside. Aurora have not horrendously lost the laning phase already. It's 4 minutes in, and they're actually up in net worth by a healthy amount, a full 1,000K.
And it's Jabs
1,000.
leading. That is always a good sign for this team, when Jabs has a good early game and can build some momentum, because he's their biggest playmaker.
Yep.
So yeah, not a bad start for him. I guess the Skelly boys are proven to be a bit stronger on lane here for 23 than that Curse. Which makes sense versus this lane that 2 single target heroes in Shaman, Night Stalker. I think the Skelly boys look stronger here in general than last game. There's not as much wave clear from the side of BetBoom.
Yeah.
Might be able to get more done with it overall.
Jab's just finding underneath the Firestorm, though he's hitting the shield. Again, maybe not what you want to do.
But he's CSing pretty well here.
Yeah.
Nightfall is gaining some decent early HP, though. A little extra bonus for him.
Man,
up to
he is
40.
hitting hard. Goddamn.
And we're going to hit that daytime.
Radiant's
So Miro
bottom
gets
tower
through the
is
lane
under
phase.
attack.
Pretty good position for him in terms of the CS. Much better average performance we're seeing out of these Night Stalkers in the first 5 minutes as expected. Get the extra regen, double bracer build-up seems pretty straightforward. Big question is, can you get through this period where you're level 4, it's daytime, and you're pretty far from 6, pretty far from that next nighttime. This, I think, is the weak point of this build-up. Like, what do you do in this period? Are you just happy sitting on the lane and losing that lane, which is probably the case?
GPK not going to be able to go for the kill on Ollie, though. He's got to dive. Should be perfectly fine.
To my house. An ill wind carries me.
Oh, Lornoff. He's going to chase him down. Okay.
Goodbye.
Just leave him there.
Leave him there to think about what he's done.
Think about the CS he's going to miss. Like this range creep. Boom. Got him.
Absolute annihilation here.
Why do you think Valve keeps on trying to make Cleave Underlord a thing?
I mean, look at his weapon. Fucking big man.
Okay. I guess that's good. That's good enough. That's
Like,
good.
if that thing can't cleave, I don't know what the hell's cleaving.
Yeah. Because his other talent is, his other facet is the cleave. Whenever he has additional damage, he gets a 35% cleave, and then the AoE of that cleave grows with the amount of damage that he has.
Look at the stacks coming out. Hot mama, there's some gold for Jabs, and he's having a pretty damn good game already.
Dude, it is so important for Jabs to have a hero that can 1v2. They tried it with the Axe last time. It didn't really work with that Axe Nyx Assassin lane, but it's so obvious that they want Jabs to be able to get solo experience in lane and Q to just like stack up to give Jabs like even further ahead. And when Jabs gets this far ahead, then he's able to determine the tempo for
Dire's
Aurora,
middle tower
and they
is under
don't just
attack.
get run over in the first 20 minutes.
Yep. And now he's already level 6, so I wonder if you prioritize taking this gate a bit earlier on this hero now that it actually does more, in
Yeah.
theory, in like an early fight. You can gate through, get some
Radiant's
bonus
bottom
summons.
tower is under attack.
I think these summons are just... Do they scale with the level of gate, or are they just like flat?
Yeah, I saw something about their scaling.
They must scale with points in the gate, so...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still, I think the earlier you can start using it, you're probably going to feel happier about that facet. He's just cruising for now, working towards some aura items. Splitting the lane, doesn't have to deal with the lifestealer here.
So the warrior starts with 400 HP with 20 attack damage, but he goes up to 800 HP and 50 attack damage with the gate being leveled up.
So pretty solid scaling here.
Yeah.
So you are incentivized to skill gate early and
Dire's
often
middle
with
tower
this build.
is under attack.
And the warrior still has the magic damage on death.
Yeah, which used to be pure, but
Yeah.
what can you do? Pure damage has slowly been removed from a lot of sources in Dota 2, outside of Timbersaw, who continues to get more of them, but what can you do about that?
Nothing could possibly be done.
So Night Stalker just basically farmed the lane for this entire period. Does have a Dark Ascension now. Nero wants to use it, look for a solo kill, and he will. He's just going to instantly pop it. Now that silence is just going to last forever here, basically. That is disgusting. And that was very easy.
It was, but...
And the upside is it's going to be nighttime after this ult's out.
Yep.
So pretty scary force on this bottom lane. No one wants to stand there. 23's been toggling between the jungle and the lane. He'll definitely come back for this double range creep wave as the Ascension wears out.
Yeah, this timing works out so much better. Like, having it night during the crucial part of the laning phase, and then once you kind of won the laning phase, it goes back to day, and you're kind of fine with that. It felt like before the first nighttime, you wanted to do something, but you weren't level 7, right? You didn't have maxed out Void, you didn't have your ultimate, so it didn't feel like that good to try and make plays. Now, if nighttime starts at 10 minutes, it's like perfect timing. Mana allergy. Let's see if this keeps him alive at all, as the mana
Actually,
getting thrown around is actually healing him so much.
God damn.
He's good. They made the critical error of thinking that Lorinoff was a killable hero with a bunch of magic damage dealers.
I mean, that looked really good there. Where you're getting outnumbered, you can throw out an early ult,
Dire's middle tower
guarantee the mana allergy heal into you. Looked really strong versus this Leshrac spellcaster who would have just nuked him down here. Look at that heal, man.
Yeah, I mean, he also got mech as well, but
Yeah, for sure.
the mech was not necessary for him to live there.
Still nice defensive positioning from Aurora. Defend the rune, attempt from BetBoom. Make sure their OD's having a good game. Getting some levels for their supports at the same time. It will be the Witchblade build-up for Lorinoff. He's going to be strong in this game. And I think the fact they have the Wraith King able to push lanes out is going to help this draft a lot too.
Dude, Eternal Shroud OD.
Yeah.
Are you with me on this?
Yeah.
That sounds
No.
sick. How could you die to magic damage if you have mana allergy and Eternal Shroud?
Here's the gate. There's the little summons.
Get him!
They did nothing, apparently. They just aggroed to the creep wave. These things are uncontrollable.
Yeah, let me read it again. So,
They're farming, though. Look at them go.
the first underlings are summoned together for the closest visible enemy unit within 1200 range of the gate. So if the creep wave is closer to the gate than the hero that you're trying to jump on, they will go to the creep wave.
Yeah, it looked pretty useless there, but
Yeah.
it looked cool. And they farmed an extra creep wave. That's what matters.
I do think maybe a nice little change would be maybe that it prioritizes heroes first, but
Okay, but hear me out on this. You just summon the gate wherever your carry's farming just to piss him off. Off cooldown. You know, he's doing that ancient stack. Just summon the gate there. Go through it. Summon some creeps on him. Go back through. Steal a bunch of CS.
okay, you've been party queuing with Slacks way too much. This sort of hostage-taking maneuver is exactly a Slacks methodology here.
Just commend me or I'll gate to your stack.
Wraith King, you better get involved, otherwise I'm going to gate your creep wave. Goodbye,
Those
Madden.
sticks. So yeah, Toronto Tokyo under-leveled here and will pay the price as Aurora have just outplayed BetBoom in this early game. Made the better moves, gotten more XP on their supports, stayed on lanes longer, and feel a lot more comfortable with the facets they've gone for here and what they're doing with them, especially 23 seems to be just having a way smoother game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he did better in the laning phase, right? Like, they should have killed the Shadow Shaman. They got cluster clucked out of that one, but that should have been a kill for them. His better laning phase, and he's farming better. I mean, I really do think that I feel like the Bone Guard is actually
Radiant's
better
top tower
most
is
of the
under
time.
attack.
That's my personal thing. I feel like the Skeletons were way too impactful for how Wraith King played previously.
Be interesting how it develops over time. I mean, if you can make the other build work, it seems more powerful in the late game, but
Yeah, for sure.
this one definitely seems a lot more reliable and consistent to get you into a good place in the game, which oftentimes in Dota that ends up just
Radiant's
being
middle
more
tower
valuable.
is under attack.
I mean, I guess my thing is, like, why are you picking Wraith King? It's kind of like
That's
you know,
a good question.
picking a Terrorblade if you aren't being able to illusion
Dire's
split
bottom
push,
tower
right?
is under
I feel like
attack.
it's kind of similar for Wraith King. Like, if you're picking Wraith King, part of the reason you're picking him is to be able to have this lane pressure
Are scared.
and to, you know, farm faster than most
Dire's
other
middle
characters.
So that's our
is under
current
attack.
understanding of the hero. But what is the future hold?
Only Oracle knows. Because he knows that it's going to be a haste rune at top at 6 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, like this Oracle change, you can tell you where the rune is. Man, I don't give a damn about where the rune spawns, man. I want this guy to
Radiant's
tell me
middle tower is
which
under
mid player is
attack.
going to give up first in my pub. Like, there's a prediction that's useful. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Enemy mid is gonna grief at 12 minutes. Oh, thank you, Oracle.
Yeah, like an Immortal draft, if you could actually have the Oracle tell you which one of the players is safe lane or feed.
That's right. That's what I want this guy to tell me. Like, I don't give a damn about a rune. Oh, daytime.
Oh, what a supernova. Canceling out Miro's advantage during nighttime, though he does manage to get the silence onto the OD. Can anybody help him here? They pull up GPK. He got off the Sandy's Eclipse. He's healing up through the Sun Ray.
He's
and
healing.
The mana allergy. He's actually out healing some of BetBoom. And now the Horde. The Horde is coming. Run, BetBoom, run.
Run, ancient creeps.
Run, ancient creeps. Oh, God, they're getting massacred by the Horde.
Jesus. Somebody save these lizards. My God. Not only did jabs have impact in that fight, he farmed an entire
Miro's
ancient
still
camp.
here?
I just never got out.
Oh.
It's going down too.
Oh, that's too bad for him. Get him with the hot spot.
Damn. I mean, Lordoff he's looking good in these fights, man.
Yeah, this mana allergy is sick.
They just keep overextending on him. And he is making them pay.
Wait.
What is happening here?
GPK just... Oh,
God.
my God! 765 damage.
Jeez. Even 23 was surprised about that. Like, what the hell was I using this garbage-ass curse for last game?
Yeah, who needs Spectral Blade? Just kill him with a good old-fashioned crit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't need to curse the man if he's already dead.
True.
I mean, the fact this build also pushes and takes towers and stuff is also bitter, but there is some more bones for the Bone Throne.
And who sits on the Bone Throne, Avery?
Bone Daddy, of course.
Of course, Bone Daddy.
That's going to be Radiant's done off this bottom lane. And Aurora are so far ahead, 10K at 16.5. They have picked up the pace here. You were saying this team is slow. Well, maybe you pissed them off there, Austin.
Good. I like it. They play pissed off like this. It looks good.
I will say it. The team fights have felt underwhelming for this BetBoom support duo in comparison. Just doesn't feel like they're getting the lockdown with the Shaman or the shields really swaying anything in the fight. Just feels a little low damage right now.
Yeah, it feels like
Dire's middle tower is under
their
attack.
saves aren't actually doing anything because... I mean, you're trying to beat out the heals of Mana Allergy and Sunray and just the Underlord existing in a team fight. Like, these longer fights aren't actually to your favor if you're Aurora. And they're definitely not to your favor now that you have the Radiance on Aurora before it's on BetBoom.
I mean, Aurora's cores do not care about saves. They're just consistent damage through and through. They don't have big ults you're going to take off or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just 3 cores that are going to walk in, throw out their spells, and start hitting you. And if,
Dire's
yeah, you give your hero a nice shield, that's fine. But they don't give a damn.
Dire's middle
Yeah, the only
tower
person who
has
cares
fallen.
is Q, the Bat Rider.
Yeah,
Everybody else is just consistent damage.
And even in this type of lineup, like, they don't need lasso to lock some dude down. They're just going to start walking at you.
Though I do at some point want to see a lasso on one part of the map and then the Horde comes out.
What is...
Oh, he's pulling his team in.
Gated for his team.
The team is going to join him. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't get any summons off this, so how can he steal 23's farm? It's not efficient.
Oh, there's no there's nothing close by. If there's nothing within 1,200, then
No,
they
I'm not gonna lie,
doesn't spawn.
This facet looks ass.
Don't say that about the Horde, Avery.
What's his other choice?
It's the cleave. I already told you.
Yeah, I know, but like numbers-wise,
I already told you that too. It's 35% cleave.
like
If he
it's
has
35% cleave
80 I said
on
these
100
things.
distance.
Is my microphone working?
An extra 5 distance per stack. Damn, it's pretty good. Can farm out some stacks pretty quickly. I feel like I'd rather have the cleave, honestly, at least so far. We'll see in the late game, maybe the level 3 boards when it comes into effect.
I feel like they're both kind of... I feel like the cleave is really only kind of useful in the laning phase.
No, I mean, you're going to get it the whole game.
I...
Okay, in real talk, how is Cleave useful in the laning phase? Cleave is the most useful at every point in Dota outside the laning phase. When you're hitting neutral stacks, when you're pushing out waves.
Yeah, but
when you're
Underlord
cleaving
doesn't-
through heroes that you reverse RP'd and split up for no reason and can't cleave them all.
I don't think Underlord, the offlaner, uses cleave that much.
Well, maybe Underlord, the carry,
now you're
with
talking.
Battle Fury.
Now you're talking. Make ancient stacks for your Underlord carry.
Exactly. I'm telling you, his talent's underrated.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Underrated because one person picked Underlord.
That's right,
and he's
underrated.
not going.
Is under attack.
Underrated talent.
Maybe you're underrating the Horde.
Dire's
Maybe.
bottom
Wouldn't be the
tower
first time in my life.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant are scanning.
The Horde! Where are they?
I mean, he has to go through first.
Oh, they only spawn once he goes through?
Yes, they only spawn if he
Oh.
goes through the gate.
Oh, that sucks.
And I feel like they need... I feel like they should survive for longer after the gate dies.
Yeah, they die as soon as the gate
Like,
dies,
these
right?
things exist for 10 seconds? It's like... Bro, you just have cleave, man.
Okay, so what happens if you go through the gate and then go through the gate again? Do they spawn on both sides?
No, I don't think so.
They should. That'd be cool.
What if you refresh gate?
Dire are scanning.
You get two sets of summons. Do they fight each other? These are the
Radiant's
questions of our
bottom
times.
tower is under
In
attack.
the world of Dota 3.
A Horde battle.
Atos messes up that illusion.
Has fallen.
Fun, some Night Stalker.
BKB is done for the last track, so maybe BetBoom can do something? Question mark?
I just don't know what this lineup really does from this position. Like, you have to kind of just go and hunt behind your Lesh or your NS, but they're not strong enough to run into the squad. There always is a Phoenix Egg that Miro has to think about. I don't know, this game seems tough for them. Like, their 5-man is just way weaker.
Dire are scanning.
This Underlord Phoenix is
Well, yeah, because there's like 20 more units on the side.
so tough to run into.
Got the Phoenix first. This is just what you want, but the Yules allows him to separate, and all he's going to be able to get the dive away. And now, put him underneath the Sunray, get him with the hotspot. He just gets burned out so quickly.
Dire's middle tower
He tried to come in for the save off the Abaddon, but he's just going to be another death, another kill for Aurora to clean up. And they head right back to taking that tier 2.
Dire's top
Where are
tower
they
is
going?
under attack.
Wow. That's impact right there.
Where are they going? Are they going to the unit that died? Are they
don't
trying
know.
to chase after the Night Stalker that's
I don't
dead and in the fountain?
I'm assuming they had no available target, and if you have no available target in Dota, you
Dire's
just
middle
target
tower
enemy
is
fountain.
under attack.
Alright, maybe the AI could use a little upgrade here on the Horde, but
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
What was his other choice? Oh, he has 35% cleave, Austin. He could have taken 35% cleave. Sounds pretty good right now.
people don't understand what a goddamn troll you are.
So it's going to be a similar build-up for 33. He's just going to skip the Manta, which makes more sense here. I don't think that build really worked out for him. So it's definitely working out. And I mean, you can go high ground early with this lineup. You have skeletons, you have the auras from the Underlord, you have sustain, you have the Horde,
And all of them are going to get piped.
and you're looking at the outspam from BetBoom. I mean, it does not exist. It's Leshrac stunned with Shard. That is the entirety of your high ground defense. You should have taken the Mega Ward, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Pipe the Horde. 13-1. Jesus, BetBoom has 1 kill.
I mean, their lineup just doesn't do damage at this point. It just feels like one of those games, like in a new patch where you draft it and you're like, yeah, this is cool, we're gonna own him. And then 20 minutes in the game, you're like, holy crap, this lineup does absolutely nothing. But it's really hard to know about that before you start to play it. I will say, Nightfall has accumulated a lot of Corpse Eater HP. It's up to 500 plus, which is something to write home about. They're gonna make a smoke play. And they'll find the OD with that silence off the shackle.
That was worth a lot of gold.
Oh, yeah.
A second kill for save. Nobody else has one.
They want more here for sure.
But 23 also wants to be the fight, apparently. Ollie, once again, with the Yule Scepter, is able to get himself away from the Night Stalker. He pops his ultimate. The Supernova's looking good. The Lifesteal is trying to get here, but the sun will explode right in their faces. Now back to nighttime, but with the stun, it's already won. Aurora demolished BetBoom in a 4 versus 5.
That just felt like a desperation play. We need to try and all in this fight. If it doesn't happen, we're screwed, but we're screwed if it goes either way, and now you're just monumentally screwed here because you committed everything. Game just looked way too easy. Yeah, I mean, Lornov, he's done. He's getting up. He's already going next.
Yes, I need a bathroom break, guys.
So here, you guys play this 4v5. You don't need me to finish this one out. And they probably don't, to be honest.
No, doesn't look like it.
Auras are back for Aurora here. Pipe, Greaves, AC, and a Phoenix to back it all up. Feels like you almost could have 3v5'd some of these fights.
This is what happens when Jabs has a successful lane. Aurora, just click. A lot better.
Yeah, just call. I mean, I agree with this. Like, just call it, man.
GG.
This draft did not work out at all. It's going to happen in the new patch. You have to write it off and just go game 3 here. And Aurora finding something that works a lot better.
All right, let's get into game 3 of Aurora versus BetBoom. Avery, what are the standouts here for game 3? What are you looking for? Man, I love new patch Dota. It's so fun.
Is Ursa viable?
Is Ursa viable?
I say no, but Nightfall says yes.
Why would this hero not be viable?
Because he's Ursa.
It's not good enough.
I mean, we did not see this hero played at all in, I think, the previous 2 patches, basically.
Yes. Why?
And, I mean, he gets kited out in fights. He doesn't do enough damage. I think the biggest thing is people didn't really figure out a build to scale him into the late game. Like, there used to exist this Battle Fury build where
like
you got 6 slotted, you're pretty terrifying. There also used to exist this build of like Octarine, Wind Waker with the Shard where you just have Perma and Rage. But with all of these things, it feels like it just comes down to a point where Ursa starts hitting a guy and he gets him to like half HP and he can't finish him and then he just dies. His window to deal damage feels very small. And so has much changed about his ability to overcome that?
No.
I mean, not really. He does more damage now, I guess.
Yeah, he does more damage based off of his HP, his current HP, not his total HP, which I thought was pretty interesting. Save, gonna be slowed down. This is gonna be your first blood here. Q. He shows up with a little tri-lane to start things off. Now, the Muerte is gonna come right back to lane near instantly, so they gotta be a little careful.
Does he want to come back to here? I mean, this is still a tri-lane.
Q's like, just do it again, guys.
Why not?
Kill him again.
That's
He's
what I
gonna
was
toss
saying,
him
man.
into kill.
Why did he come back so fast?
Why did you come back? Well, at least this time he got denied.
You still get XP for that now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Worth mentioning. It's not as bad as it used to be. And the thing is, I mean, now he has to walk out from base.
Nobody. It's just the Venomancer that gets the experience, right? Yes. He's level 2.
Yeah.
Ollie's level 2. So nobody else got the experience.
Oh, he can
but Venom.
TP, I guess. Okay, so he doesn't have to walk out. That's right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so he only accelerated the feed, but ha! I'm back for a 3rd time. What are you going to do about that, Aurora?
Oh, so Aurora.
Just straight tri-laning.
We said they like to give Jabs a solo lane, but they are straight up tri-laning now.
This is wacky, man. I have not seen this in a long time. And they got the Phoenix down here, so
Yeah.
they actually got the response. This is really nice for Jabs. I think if I was BetBoom, I'd rather have just permanently zoned this Underlord, especially in an Ursa lane. Like, you're picking Ursa and he gets absolute free farm, you should be confident for him to carry the game. I think it's the type of hero he should be, at least. Especially in the Jug matchup. Jug is a good matchup for Ursa. At least in a lot of the previous patches. I don't know how it works now, but again, you should have confidence in these things with the pick. We'll see if Q opts to move top to help Jabs at all, or if they're happy to just leave him in this one-on-one, which so far has not been good for him. Could get better over time. But Ursa with this kind of lead, he can go Orb of Venom here. He can get early phase boots and just run the Underlord down.
Okay, can we talk about this thing? So the reset timer on Fury swipes is 20 seconds. If you get the 10 talent, it goes up to 40 seconds. With this facet, it means it's a 48-second ordeal to get rid of Fury swipes. Could that be broken?
I mean, when you phrase it like that, sounds pretty broken.
I mean, that's an absurd amount of time to wait for Fury swipes to go down.
48 seconds. I know that's a long time for you, Austin, but for a lot of people, it's too short, if you know what I'm saying. So I guess everything is relative here.
It's going to be the best 48 seconds of Nightfall's life.
Best 48 seconds of somebody's life. I agree. It is a very long time to keep these stacks up in a fight. Pretty hard to kite that out. Does have his Orb of Venom here. And they did force the TP back top by Q coming back up here, so Aurora were happy to start that trialing but break it down. Didn't want to leave this one-on-one for too long. Kind of agree with that. They got what they wanted out of that for the most part. Also interesting to see where Lornoff can go with this chain game. 4 chains. This does work off his normal chains. The remnants can help you get the bonus, but I wonder if he will ever be able to actually land all 4. I guess you can use it more for farming potentially too.
I did not test this. Is it 4 around him and 4 around his remnant?
Yes, that is how it's supposed. Well, it's 4 total, but he can cast 4 off his hero.
But how? But okay, he's separate from his remnant. How does it possibly determine where the 4 goes? Is it prioritized around his hero? Are you sure it's not 4 around him and 4 around his remnant?
It's 4 total. You cannot overlap.
Yeah, but I'm saying they are okay. There are 4 targets around his hero. There's 4 targets around his remnant. They're in different places.
Ask Gabe Newell, man. Like,
you can disconnect from the game and try. I'll disconnect from the game.
Okay, you figure that out. They got the shot on jabs. He's gonna have to TP out. Heads up TP though. Definitely save him here. Still having a very slow game compared to that game 1 though, considering they sacked him. And I mean, you talked about Aurora look best when Jabs is having a good game. He is not gonna have a good game here. And it's gonna be all in on the Juggernaut. As 23 is pretty much the only one doing well, and honestly, he's not even doing that well considering how much they put into him at the start. Just not a fun matchup for the Jug overall. Didn't really get the follow-up kills with this Veno combination, considering you have leg day, you can get out of there. What are you going to do about it? Absolutely nothing, apparently. Broken facet.
No, the remnant also gets its own 4.
So you can chain up to... Wait, so you can chain up to like 20 people?
Radiant are scanning.
Holy smokes, that's broken.
You could just throw remnants all over the place and just a single chains. What?
That's pretty interesting, actually. So in a fight, you could just throw out all your remnants in a zone of control type thing. Like around Roche or something. And just chain off all of them, chain 20 targets at once. Broken. That sounds busted as hell.
That sounds insane. Miro's going to get jumped on as Aurora continue to go back and forth between dual lanes and tri-lanes. They are keeping BetBoom moving in this laning phase and trying to keep them on their toes. Now, it's not resulting in a net worth win over time here, even though they have 2 kills over the 0 of BetBoom. I guess maybe the static lanes would be losing lanes for them. Finally, they get a kill. It's Jab's going to be run down solo, and the Wisdom Rune is not going to be taken. Ollie was ready to go for them.
I mean, normally you can be okay with this type of net worth trade-off if you're very confident in your carry's ability to 1v5 the game with a good start and lead versus a matchup that he otherwise might not have gotten that lead in. But is that the case here for 23? He will not get this kill. There are stick charges. Is just Jug carry this game into Ursa, Windranger, Slardar? I don't feel like that's true. I mean, I don't know in this patch, but just based on these matchups historically. It's not true. So, like, what is the value of this trade-off, I guess?
I'm not sure, but if you saw the circle around the Marcy there, that is the bodyguard AoE. So the unit that he is bodyguarded, if he is in range of a unit that is attacking the person he is bodyguarding, or if the bodyguarded unit is attacking something, Marcy will
Dire's
also
middle
attack
tower
that
is
unit.
under attack.
Games.
She just needs to be in range. Deadshot goes out trying to play for the power runes here. Got caught. Jabs. His lane kind of sucks anyway, dealing with an Ursa, so he might as well rotate over and help get a kill on GPK. Help get a kill on GPK. Oh, no. Well, at least Venomancer still gets the experience. He's going to throw that Noxious Plague over Ollie, trying to keep his distance. Fire Spirited,
Got
though.
everything off.
He should burn out. He gets off all of his spells. Is that going to be enough to kill the Ursa here? Another TP out. And Jabs this time around does not have the pit, so they chase after Toronto Tokyo. Finally, the pit is back up. He's going to go for a dive away, but Q's going to chase after him, as is Lornoff. They finally get a kill out of him.
Strike.
I mean, they're skirmishing well around the Ember. Jab's making the most of nothing here. He gets involved, gets a couple kills. Wasn't doing anything on that top lane, but this is still more free farm for the Ursa Warrior here. As Nightfall is going to be pretty damn terrifying this game, and is going that Battle Fury build, so he's going to scale. Be able to clear through some Ancients, in theory, get an early Roshan here, and he's just off to the races. How much bonus damage he got? I mean, he's getting 15 off Maul right now. That's not too bad. It's 15 extra free damage. Now, extra damage on Ursa is a mixed bag, right? Because this hero doesn't really use extra damage that well. That's my big question with this talent, or this passive, is it actually that... Like, this is probably the worst carry to have bonus damage on.
Sure. But
he wants either attack speed, survivability, anti-kiting, or like procs, you know, basher type items, but extra damage is... It's like, I guess, good for early jungling.
that's what I was going to say, right? It means he's going to jungle faster. He gets his Battle Fury faster, which then speeds up the rest of his item timings.
That part seems pretty good. I guess in the ultra late, if you have 2,000 or 3,000 HP, you know, you're looking at another, what, 50 damage on every hit. If you go and hit someone 5 times, another 250 damage. Not insignificant.
Radiant's top tower is under
Missed
attack.
out of the rebound. Deadshot. Pulled in.
That was
23
close.
Savage had to use the spin for fear of the crush from Miro.
He almost just died there straight up. Not having as free farm a game as we saw in that Juggernaut game 1. Game's a bit closer for both teams, but BetBoom definitely taking an advantage out of this laning phase despite the shenanigans of Aurora. And they're just building up the damage, getting the Battle for the Ursa, getting the Maelstrom for GPK here. Once he has that online, he's going to be a really big threat to all these 3 melee cores on the front line. Like, Jabs is just going to melt to GPK this game. You're not going to be this tanky frontliner we saw from game 1. Going to get absolutely shredded here, especially with Slardar Amp on top of it. I mean, Slardar Wind Ranger, combination that goes back to Shanghai Major.
Yeah, I mean, similarly, if Ursa doesn't make much use of bonus damage, it also means the aura from the Underlord doesn't have much of an impact on Nightfall's damage as well, right?
Yeah, that's why this Ursa matchup's just awful for Underlord, because you just don't really have any anti-damage capability against him outside of your kiting him out through the pit. Which isn't bad. You can definitely play that style. We've seen some of the Underlords in the past year or two play some of these matchups, and if you're ahead, you can definitely kite it out, play around the pit, be annoying in the fight. Man, is this Ursa ahead, dude. He is doubling up the Underlord off this laning phase. If they get some Ancient stacks for Nightfall, he is going to be ginormous.
Pulled him in, chain gang through. GPK trying to get a kill out of this situation. It's just not going to work. There is the advantage. I mean, though they talked about it on the panel, right? This facet of Marcy does give bonus armor when you bodyguard somebody, so that could go a long ways in being able to help out these whoever's being targeted by this Ursa or Wind Ranger with the Slardar bonus.
That's true.
Radiant structures are
And I mean, Aurora going to play through the Ember this game for sure. Jab's going to have to recover at some point. They can kite out the Ursa in the fights. Veno is still very strong versus Hero. Barcy later with some Basher buildup could be really annoying for Nightfall.
Yeah.
And of course, there's Ember making his presence felt in this game. Lornoff finds 2 big core pickoffs there in the mid and bottom. Those are going to be impactful. Gets 23 some extra gold. Helps him keep up with this Ursa Warrior.
Little power shot just to keep Q honest. Q is daring them. You can go on me if you want.
Another gate to bring the Ember in there, but unable to connect. We will not see any minions out of that gate, but we will see an Ancient stack clear through. So some recovery farm for the Underlord. Acceleration for Lornoff here, who's made this Ember look pretty good this game. He's really shut down GPK, despite GPK being pretty farmed. And already has that Mage Slayer up, so he's tanky. He's got his chains. Ready to brawl. I'm gonna get another pickoff.
He'll get him eventually.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Maelstrom done for the Wind Ranger.
Radiant's
You know, at the start of the
bottom
game,
tower
he
is
had
under
the other facet. I was super interested to see how that would, if that would be successful at all. The like Whirlwind Wind Ranger or whatever.
I feel like some of these facets might be good, but they're scary to take.
Yeah, you just don't know the impact of them yet.
Like Tailwind, you know what that's going to do for you. Extra move speed, all good. This Whirlwind, you go in a fight, maybe it messes you up. You don't get to focus the target you want or something. I think it's going to take longer for people to play with these and figure out when exactly they're good, how to utilize them, what the upsides and the downsides are before you're willing to take it in a pro match, you know, day one.
In some 5-on-5, I could see like a Maelstrom Whirlwind Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it sounds ham.
That sounds like that's just a ton of AoE damage.
It also is going to probably proc any passive items on everybody you're hitting, I assume.
Yeah.
Like, you get some Nemesis Curse or something, or are you just Nemesis cursing everybody you're hitting in order and random stuff like that? Orb of Corrosion Wind Ranger.
It does kind of go back to, though, like,
Destillator Wind Ranger.
why are you picking this hero, right? And I would say for Wind Ranger, right, part of the appeal of picking this hero, it is a really strong anti-carry that is able to just focus down one hero, right? You get some sort of stun set up on Juggernaut or Ember Spirit, GPK is going to come in and kill that hero as quick as
Yeah,
possible.
well, the future's now, old man. Maybe you pick this hero for something different now. Maybe he's AoE damage.
Not saying that's not possible in the future, but right now.
The future is now, old man. I just said that.
All right.
And now is the future from where I said that. So get up to par.
Well, now it's the past, so got you there.
Not even going to indulge that response.
Orchid build up for Miro. And he's going to make a rotation with this top lane push that's coming in. Looks like they want to kill Jabs again when he goes to defend the tower. Oh, they're going fast rush. Never mind. Yep. Ursa Slardar, fast rush.
All right, this is way too easy for this lineup. Didn't stand a chance here. So Blink, Battle Fury, Aegis, level 12 at 16 minutes here for Nightfall. This feels like one of those games where if you don't carry it, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
For sure. And all Jabs can do to defend himself is pick up a Yule Scepter. Buy himself 2.5 seconds of time.
I mean, it is good versus the Ursa.
Yeah.
Still looking at a hero where you can dispel a lot of his buffs.
I'll take that as tribute.
You can't deal with the Yules based on status resist. This hero still has the same problems he has if you itemize well against him. Nothing about that's going to change.
Fortune.
But he's going to do more damage on the initial go. You have to be prepared for it as BetBoom smoke up, and they want to get Nightfall involved in this game.
Gold for me.
And ideally, they want to find a big core jump. They can get it. Either the Ember or the Jug would be ideal here.
Yeah, Ollie might be in the perfect position to just break this whole play. He is. Lornoff is not going to be the one to get gone on.
Not who they wanted out of that, but they'll take it. Might open up the mid tower here. That would be the bigger prize.
Yep.
force Aurora to either fight them or just lose out on the map. I wouldn't mind getting greedy here either if I'm BetBoom. Maybe just let GPK start hitting this and go bottom. Depends on where you think their vision is.
Yeah, they have both the Venomance ward that was seeing them and a defensive jungle ward that was spotting the rotation back. So they get neither out of that. They don't get the mid tower. They can't pressure bottom.
I don't think I like that play. I don't like Nightfall just going back to triangle here. I think, like, why take a defensive position with this Ursa when you could just farm through bottom lane, like solo take this tower, maybe look for the jug, take space away from Aurora that's not going to cost you too much farm time, and just start accelerating the objectives here, because you know Aurora want to dodge you right now. They have the weakest core in the game in this Underlord who's trying to recover. They're not going to defend these towers. It's just no way. You got to take advantage of it. I feel like BetBoom are just playing a little too scared for their position. Another move where you come down here but you don't push the tower and then you're just backing up. It just feels inefficient right now, and these things cost you some momentum. They cost you a bit of your lead. It's time for Jabs to just recover. And, I mean, he's slowly climbing that chart.
Yeah, if he gets Guardian Greaves, he'll be pretty tanky. He'll have both the Yules to stop the Ursa, and he'll have both the Dispel and the extra armor from Greaves.
And at that point, if he's 2 or 3K behind, it doesn't matter anymore.
Attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe they just feel really confident about their triple BKB timing. I don't know if Wind Ranger's gonna go BKB, but Miro, he's gonna go on, triple BKB timing. So maybe they just figure it's not necessarily about the Aegis.
I don't know. You have Blink Ursa, you have Orchid Slardar, you have a Wind Ranger that can easily follow up or make some
triple BKB timing. I don't know if Wind Ranger's gonna go BKB, but Miro, he's gonna go on, triple BKB timing. So maybe they just figure it's not necessarily about the Aegis.
I don't know. You have Blink Ursa, you have Orchid Slardar, you have a Wind Ranger that can easily follow up or make some of these plays happen. I feel like you can be looking more aggressively right now. Like, the fact Lornoff is getting power runes while you're not feels a little bad too. It will be that tower push into another smoke for this Ursa. Go top. So looking for somebody on the Ancients probably here.
Yeah. Turn it into 20-minute Tormentor, 21-minute Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, this move could be nice in the overall grand scheme of things.
But Aurora is already here as a 5-stack. This could be even better. If they're going to catch a mid-Tormentor, this could be a very free fight. He's going to jump in right in the middle of it. Q, he hops down to low ground. He managed to get away. They took the Tormentor on Aurora, and BetBoom don't actually get the initiation they're looking for. Now they're going to chase down Lornoff with the chains on 1. Supernova to defend. Aurora have to back away. But they can play the long game here. Supernova explodes. BetBoom is retreated.
You got nothing out of that.
No.
You got a healing ward. I mean, Aurora's super happy with that exchange. They were ready for it. Brought all 5 instantly to that Tormentor. Just catches BetBoom off guard. And yeah, you can jump that Ursa in, but he can't stun anybody. Needs help from the other cores. You need to activate GPK in this game. His BKB is done now. Still very farm. See if Jabs tries to set up here. I mean, he can Yule's Pit into gate the team to him, but no, he'll just take the creeps. If only he had 35% cleave right now. Anti-Ember, that is a good feeling for Lornoff. Hitting these really strong defensive items means he's just going to be able to push into the damage sooner. Radiance potentially on the menu could be interesting versus triple right-click core lineup.
Okay, very important. When you go back through the gate, the minions will spawn on that side too. So it's actually kind of a cool split pushing thing. If you were to gate one side lane and gate to the other side lane, you just go through and then you just create the Abyssal Horde on both sides of it.
And they last for 10 seconds and then disappear.
I mean, that's a wave on both side lanes.
Is this Miro death to the Tormentor, I assume?
Yeah, I would guess so. I was too busy testing out the Abyssal
BetBoom's
Horde.
struggles against the neutral objectives continue.
Yeah.
Still haven't figured that out. Maybe next patch they'll do some damage testing and it'll work out for them. But for now, continuing to get outmatched.
That's what we need. We need a stat on the team that dies the most to Torment.
I mean, it's BetBoom. I'll tell you.
It's definitely BetBoom. It's just
it's
who's
every single game.
How much farther ahead are they compared to everybody else? You know.
A lot. There's my stat for you.
Thank you, Avery.
BKB done for Nightfall now. But he's no longer outpacing this Jug.
And if anything, he's going to start being slower than the Jug. Full out Mjolnir complete.
Yeah, I feel like Aurora are happy with the last 10 minutes here. This
Okay.
game could have gone out of control. Instead, they just got the kind of farm up.
This is super helpful, though. They have the Orchid on the Slardar, and now they have Scythe on the Phoenix.
That's big,
So
man. He
they've got
lot
a
of
really
farm.
good
Dire's bottom
chance
tower
to catch
is
this
under
Ember
attack.
Spirit on his split push.
That's a huge item. Especially when you can just
Radiant
swoop
are
in, hex
scanning.
somebody, and then the Ursa can jump. It helps Nightfall's game a lot here.
Dire
That Toronto
are
Tokyo was
scanning.
able to farm that up. Just played this period greedy. But I feel like he's the one saving grace for this time period for BetBoom is they got a crap ton of farm on this Phoenix. He's outpacing the Underlord. He has that Philly to boost him up. 10 Plague Wards have been slain. I guess that all went to Toronto Tokyo. That's why he has Hex here. Just massacring Plague Wards across the map. And they're going to smoke it up. So look for the dive-in Hex to enable the Slardar or the Ursa jump. You can also hold it for the middle of the fight. You let the other cores go in, jump somebody, the second Ember commits. You Hex them, you egg on top of them. That might be enough to just finish the Ember off.
Yeah.
And Lornoff might just get caught by that very play. They got him.
Sight, and they've got him. It only needs one. Just
Very
one
clean.
disabled to land. They've got more than enough follow-up.
Very clean here. Instant payoff for Toronto Tokyo. Once more, you have a chance to start to take this map over.
A little bit. Aurora is already split pushing out the side lanes, though. That was a 5-man move. It's BetBoom. They got to keep up the pace. They got to keep finding heroes, and Miro will do just that. The Orchid on Q makes it so he cannot escape.
That damage.
1 kill turns to 2. And like this same Scythe also makes it really hard for 23 to call. Oh, dead shot into the silence, into GPK, coming in with the focus fire. He's got a healing ward, but it does not outdo the damage that is pumped out from an amplified damage GPK Wind Ranger.
We'll get out of here during that BKB duration, despite the minions threatening to overwhelm him. He will narrowly escape. That was just a sick setup by Save.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick.
I mean, he threw down that silence at just the very end of the fear, too.
Yeah, that's like frame perfect.
So well done.
Brutal death for 23, who probably thought he was safe up here with Healing Word plus Manta plus the support behind him, but not even close. Power of the Wind Ranger in these carry matchups. You can get it working. Feels good.
Aurora tired of being picked off, gonna go for a smoke, but they don't have their full 5-man here. And their backline already being decimated by Nightfall. He's taken out one. He uses BKB to go over to the Ember Spirit. The Ember Spirit slide away, gets silence for a second there, but is able to hop back to his Remnant.
So no egg here, and no BKB on Nightfall. Aurora gonna want to push this. They don't want to give up the second Roshan. Egg back
Radiant's
up.
bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
How do you push into this, though? Are you confident just running in with the Omni Slash, or do you just force Roshan? There's an option of just doing Rosh here, making BetBoom go into you. You know they don't want to fight you right now without
Dire's
Nightfall's
top tower is under
BKB.
attack. Dire's structures.
This tower definitely has to go. This gives BetBoom way
Radiant's
too much
middle
control of
tower
this
is
area.
under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just doesn't want to get jumped by that Hex. The threat from Toronto Tokyo is
Yeah, 23 gets jumped
very terrifying right now.
by the Hex. Can Aurora save him in time?
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I don't think so. Not from the all-in. They don't have any force stabs or anything, right? So,
Well, I mean, BetBoom's doubting themselves. They had a chance to make that jump, but...
yeah, if they give up this Roche, this would be a huge win for Aurora.
They're really not going to fight it. With Supernova!
Yeah, this... I don't know, this seems like you're giving Aurora too much say in how this game's
you're
going.
You're smoking now, but it's too late. I mean, maybe they could still take the team fight after the Roshan.
It's a cheese, too.
But they're all TPing away. This is... I do not understand. I'm not...
I mean, I get waiting for save to respawn. I get waiting for Nightfall's BKB to come up at least closer off that cooldown and everything. But, yeah, I don't think that's a Roche you want to give up here. For sure. This is just not the lineup you want to be giving an Aegis to a Jug when your lineup is kind of predicated around going in, disabling one core, and bursting that guy. Aegis cheese is so valuable in that type of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And now this is going to give Lornoff time to get to Radiance here. Didn't even really have to fight for it. He's just cruising.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
An annoying item for these 3 cores as well. Putting a lot of pressure on the BKB duration for BetBoom here. They have to make good stuff happen with this triple BKB in the fight before they get kited out, before these missed chances go through, before you get chain ganged into oblivion.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Chain gang. Man, if they're grouped up and they get like multiple chains and you've got this patient zero just spreading around nonstop.
Juggernaut!
Ugh. Nice Solar Crest pickup, though. This is a pretty good Solar Crest game.
I mean, evasion for both teams anywhere you can get it. Armor, anywhere you can get it. This game is all going to be about the physical mitigation. Just surviving. Aurora just want to survive the initial jumps. They can kite out these cores as the fight progresses. Anything survivability or kiting is going to be nice for them. Force Staffs, Yules, Solar Crests, AC Shivas. BetBoom just need more lockdown. Abyssal Blades, Hexes, Nullifiers. Anything to guarantee that when they commit in with the single target burst, it gets that big kill. Because if you don't get it, you get stuck in that fight. It does not favor you.
Yeah, you're going to get hit by an Omni Slash, Swift Slash. You need to be able to all in this Juggernaut later on in the game when the Aegis is expired. Right now, though, oh, spotted save. He's a pretty slow hero, so it's a freebie.
Yeah, nice heads-up play.
We'll say we're talking to BSJ in the green room, and he was talking about how this other facet is very good for the Juggernaut. He thinks it's actually maybe the better one. We'll say in just this situation, though, the Blade Storm against the Muerta, he shreds that Muerta pretty quickly.
I'll take that as tribute.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Spin to win, baby. It's back.
Dire are scanning.
Triple BKB
Dire's
online.
bottom tower
And
has fallen.
Abyssal done for the Ursa. Okay, so this has got to be go time for BetBoom. Like, yeah, there's an Aegis up, but you have to feel confident taking these fights.
Shard for the Mercy. So yet another save mechanism potentially for Aurora. They have these like saw saves and these heals and Solar Crest and stuff like that, but
Radiant are scanning.
Or just farming, man. That's what this team does. They're happy to play these slow games. Happy to continue to scale here.
man, if he gets to full out Shivas on this Ember Spirit, his AoE damage is just gonna be insane. With the Chain Gang, the Radiance, and the Shivas.
Halberd on the Underlord now too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Aurora are getting the anti-physical items here. It feels like they're getting them at a better pace than BetBoom are getting the lockdown and the dispel.
Yeah.
They feel so good about it. They're just going to take the aggressive fight. Still got that cheese. Now, the jump for them is pretty difficult, I will say. I don't think the initiation is very straightforward. Like, yeah, you can maybe catch someone with a chains or a blink and dispose, but it's not guaranteed that you can latch on that guy before he gets a BKB off. Then that fight might just turn on you. So these aggressive moves from Aurora are a lot more difficult than when the fight is going into them.
I think, what do you think is better here for Jabs? Next item. He's got an empty slot, so you want to go an item like Lotus Orb, but I feel like Wind Waker would also be very good for him. Like, Wind Waker would guarantee that the Jug always gives off Omni Slash.
I mean, he wants an armor item here, but since the Ember already went to Shivas, you're kind of relegated to Lotus or maybe an AC if you're really feeling spicy. I think he's probably just opting for Lotus. I would agree with this. This is the safe, reliable choice here for sure. Could go second Shivas. It's not that bad in some of the games like this where BetBoom might be jumping different targets and you get double blast out, help kite this Ursa. Lotus for Slardar. Hard to turn that down though.
BetBoom up 7K. I don't know, maybe the Ursa scales better than he used to. It's not like they have bad heroes to scale at all. With multiple of their cores getting stronger. It does just kind of feel like, though, that they let Aurora get to where they want to be.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're getting the momentum they wanted out of this game. Maybe they're okay playing this slow, but...
I will say that at this point, though, I'm perfectly fine waiting for MKB on Ursa, right?
I mean, yeah, now you wait. Now you're going to wait for Roshan, and you're contesting that 100%. Maybe Wind Ranger just gives you the confidence to go very late here.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the Ursa, right? It's like Slardar and Wind Ranger.
Yep.
Both scaling up a lot.
In theory, could create a pretty difficult late game scenario for the Juggernaut to deal with all of that. And he is the only real physical damage dealer.
I mean, at some point in time, it's like the Underlord becomes the odd man out, right? It's the one hero that isn't like giving you scaling damage. Ollie gonna get picked off here as BetBoom smoke across the map, and they get lured off. GPK spots him while he's still smoked up, catches him on a shackle. It's just beautiful.
Those single target burst situations are so good for BetBoom. Like, this Hex and Abyssal just guarantees 100 to 0 on most of these heroes.
Yeah.
If not all of them. The exact type of setup that they're looking for.
Yeah, just 100 to 0 on 2 different heroes at once. No full 5-on-5.
This is for that Roche contest that's respawning pretty soon here. Both these carries working towards that MKB. 23 does finish his. Nightfall, after that situation, is going to have his almost on par here. So can you connect these Omni Slashes on a big target in these fights as well? I mean, ideally you want this Wind Ranger, the Ursa post-ult, something of this nature.
That's actually a really big problem with him getting good Omni Slashes, right? There's Wind Ranger and Muerta, and Ursa's Enrage. And actually Phoenix Supernova. There's a lot of things that allow them to be able to disjoint or dodge the damage of Omni Slash. Slardar Ags.
Maybe they need to Hex their own at some point in this game.
Yeah, maybe BetBoom are the ones who actually just are going to be able to push through the Omni Slash. If you can't get good Omni Slashes, then maybe it's Aurora who start lacking in the damage.
All right, here's that Roche contest.
8 to 10, very low on the kill score. 10,000 net worth lead for BetBoom at 36 minutes. Winning this game, but a lot of it just comes down to this Roshan.
I mean, this is where you throw out all your remnants and you play the chain gang game. does manage to finish the Shivas here. Still has that cheese from earlier. Pretty efficient slot build-up for Lornoff for this fight.
Dire are scanning.
He can survive some initial burst.
This is going to be the free Aghanim Scepter too, right?
Yes.
Which, if you gave it to Aurora, you get a free Ags on an Ember Spirit with the kind of farm that Lornoff has. BetBoom. Do not want to give up this Roshan. Last one, maybe it's fine, just because their late game does look so intimidating. This one, though, this is a Rosh you fight for.
They're going to try and get some weird angle here.
Aurora.
But ideally, BetBoom are the ones who want to jump first if they can see somebody. They don't mind just committing BKBs and solo bursting a target. As far as they're concerned, there's no save that's going to come out from this Aurora squad to bail a core who gets Abyssal or Hexed out. Just searching for this angle into the fight. They have to do it through Plague Wards. They have to do it through annoying sentries on top of the Plague Wards that can scout their own vision. Not an easy way to just force the issue here. They don't have any vision mechanism of their own.
They got Deadshot. I mean, it's not great, but
that's barely doing anything here.
I mean, I will say that being in a defensive position for Aurora does not solve all your team fight, though, because
no,
the Supernova is just going to take over that area if BetBoom jump anyway.
But it does give you Rosh. Roar goes out.
Oh, the Roar.
So it's gonna force BetBoom to make a move.
Yeah, well, they have that debuff. It would be a good time to jump. They spot him on the low ground, though. Aurora, they see Toronto Tokyo, which is a great kill to get at the start of the fight.
Gone.
Didn't even have to use the Omni Slash. That was a Swiss Slash that just demolished him.
He has no buy.
And no buyback. Oh!
Bought out for Refresher. Doesn't even get a single one off. And I mean, this Rosh, it's just gone.
Is this one in the hand is worth more than two in the bush sort of scenario? One good Supernova would be better than two.
Aghanim Scepter for Lornoff here. And a second cheese. He stacked it, man.
Bruh.
Come on, man.
Don't stack the cheese.
You don't ever stack cheese. Please. This thing has 40-second cooldown.
Yeah, man, share the food.
Still, Aghanims for them is a huge win. They would have wanted that to go on Nightfall for sure here. Yeah,
because now the Ember Spirit, I think that last scenario was pretty dream for Aurora, right? They are able to get the Juggernaut to instantly kill the Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. You're never going to get that again in this game.
Right, which is where Lornoff having the Ags helps a lot, right? He can put himself to the back of the team fight behind BetBoom and threaten that Phoenix. And maybe it forces the Phoenix to use like an early Supernova, you know, one that is not effective, one that detracts from Aurora's team fighting area. He's dead! Oh my god! Noxious Plague, though, and the Underlord's going to come in. He's going to stop this guy with the summons coming out as well. They need to hold Nightfall here for as long as possible for 23 Savage to be able to get off his abilities, but another crush goes out. Now Nightfall turns around. The Silence, he rips off this Juggernaut. He just cannot live, and now the focus fire onto Q as well. Those are two heroes that are dead in just seconds. Somehow it's BetBoom that get the better of this initiation this time around. And they run down hero after hero. It's going to be 4. Maybe. Wait, Yules. That helps. The Ember Spirit's still in trouble, though. Hexed up, feared. Oh, eats the cheese. Jumps back to his Remnant. And Miro took a little bit of damage there. Wasn't able to blink forward onto him.
Juggernaut dies without a single spell effectively going off here. Cannot find Omni or Swift Slash. The single target physical burst through the spin. It's what BetBoom picked this lineup to do, and it is punished 23 repeatedly here. He just can't deal with the Abyssal, the Amp, the Slardar Bashes, the Hex waiting for him. He needs the team to go in first and set those types of fights up for him. But nobody else is willing to go on the front line, and of course that fight started by him just getting caught in the river with an Aegis. BetBoom not afraid to take that jump, showing us why.
Yeah.
They are scaling like beast here.
There's also this constant effect of the calling that's causing him issues, because Juggernaut is not a hero that wants to go BKB, but Manta is not a safe enough dispel against an AoE silence.
It just doesn't feel like Aurora are scaling at nearly the same capacity.
No.
Like, you have a bunch of spells and stuff you can throw out from this Underlord Ember, but how are you actually killing heroes? And meanwhile, you got Save silently scaling on this Morta. He just went carry Morta items. He's going to be obnoxious in the fight. Toronto Tokyo is absolutely massive. All three of these cores are triple BKB cores with late game physical scaling power. It just does not feel like you're matching it here.
I mean, it does go to show that, like, it's just the initiation that determines a lot of the way the fight goes.
Oh, 100%, but I think that also favors BetBoom. I think their paths of initiation are just easier. They have the Dive Hex, they have the Blink Abyssal,
yeah.
They have Blink Crush, they have a Wind Ranger who can just run in the fights, shackle somebody. Like, how are you starting a fight on your terms if you're a role?
I mean, one thing is, though, the Ember Spirit makes that initiation still difficult for BetBoom. Even if their Aurora's way of starting the fight is not as clear, Lorinov can make BetBoom stumble on their initiation.
I mean, maybe, but you're looking at the Invis Wind Ranger now.
Yeah.
You're looking at Shadowblade Morta, a sprinted Slardar. These are very fast heroes. You're just going to run in and start the fight on their terms, and you're not even going to see them. Your Plague Wards are not giving you the protection they once were anymore. This game feels very dangerous for Aurora now, despite them getting some of these Roshans that I don't know if they had business getting. They played those sequences well, but they were unable to translate them into any sort of advantage. Swift Blink for Nightfall, level 25. 9 overpower stacks, or I should say charges, ready to go.
Dota Plus does agree with you, too, because it was a 65-35 game to BetBoom's favor when there was Aegis and double cheese on Aurora, and now it's plummeting to a 20-80 game. So it's still possible. Like, Aurora does have late game. It's just, as you're saying, the avenues for them to be able to start a successful fight are extremely limited, and BetBoom have a lot more options in that regard.
Tower is under attack.
But a lot of that does get evened out when you try and hit high ground.
Dire's top
And we'll see if BetBoom ever does try and do that.
Radiant's middle tower
but
is under attack.
they would probably need to take a Roshan first. Ollie, is the smoke going to break on him? Does he throw another ward? Do they see that?
Actually afraid to jump.
Yeah, breaks, but he doesn't know how many heroes there are lurking in the trees. The truth is that Aurora is actually split up around the map.
Did hit that level 25 on Ember too, so double Sleight of Fist with all these remnants. Stormcrafter on top of it. I mean, it's about as good as it's going to get. Your damage is not going to really improve from here. If the fight lasts long, Lorinov can take it over. But the fight has to last long, which, how do you accomplish that task when you were looking at so much overwhelming burst damage? The positioning has to be on point here for Aurora. They want to take these late game scenarios. I mean, you can also play with buyback.
Finger cross. Juggernaut, not going to be the one found. Instead, it's going to be the Marcy. Underlord throws out the pit, and Q doesn't actually quite yet die. They get the Omni Slash onto GPK. GPK with the Omni Slash. No, it's not enough by itself, and 23 immediately goes for the spin TP out. So does Nightfall. BKB TP. Both carries pull a Nightfall.
Oh, the summons.
And the summons found the Slardar. He's going to try and get away off of the Wind Waker. No sprint up for now, but he gets to the river.
Can't believe 23 got out of there. God damn. And Trickster Cloak saving the Marcy off the jump, so neutral items doing some work here.
I do wonder if how much things would turn if we get to tier 5 neutral items, which I think there are more neutral items that give you survivability than items that give you damage. And maybe that switches things a little bit. Underlord. Oh, God!
My.
He's
Lord.
dead! And there's no Omni Slash up for 23, so he's not going to feel too good about this fight lasting longer. They take the gem away from Aurora, take the Underlord, and they just back out, content with the pickoff, content with the Roshan coming up.
Need Wind Wakers here on Aurora.
Yes, 100%.
I just don't know who's getting there.
I mean, it would be Jabs, but he can get the Wind Waker as his next item if he wants, but it would also mean you can't be the one getting gone on.
Yeah.
Which
feels bad. I mean, he went Hex here too to try and give him more initiation power. But again, it's a Hex on an Underlord, which is only so easy to use.
Yeah.
Roshan. Going up soon. BetBoom want this one. They have missed out on the last two. And they need an Aegis on this Ursa to break the high ground.
Yeah, surely this one's there. Amp damage,
smoke.
better control of the map. A potential 4 versus 5 heading their way. Smoke's gonna break. Lordoff gives him the vision. Got hit by the Gleipnir. Got hit by the side. In trouble now. No saves. So wait, the Yules. Does he have a remnant to jump away to? No, he just comes down to destruction. And a second supernova just to make sure Aurora are not going to try and fight this one out. BetBoom are very, very cautious. They get these pickoffs and they just keep, you know, they take the freebie and they get out. They don't push for more.
Radiant are scanning.
Was that Slardar's Yules? Whose Yules was that?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't.
There isn't a Wind Waker on Aurora, so looked a little weird, but I guess since he had, I mean, he has BKB. That was maybe a dangerous Yules. Either way, it'll work out here. They finally get an Aegis on Nightfall. He's been looking for it the whole game. And they gave the Ags to the Phoenix here.
Very interesting. I mean, the late game Ags on Phoenix, when you're closing in on level 25, you can get the +2 supernova hit count if you really want. This egg is not very easy to kill, so it feels like the save is a little bit more assured.
It does have 2 of them too.
Yeah.
I still think this Ursa one's probably just more straightforward to get the value out of it, but can make some big plays here. Another save BetBoom can play around. They maybe were lacking one before. It's also something that's going to make these Omni Slashes that much harder as well.
Goodbye.
Gets BKB. Not insignificant here.
Does this nullifier change anything that Q picked up?
Not too much. I mean, if you can connect it on the Wind Ranger Ursa, at some point in the fight, it will help 23 bring them down. But I think that's a lot easier said than done, especially with how these fights are going. It's just BetBoom jumping you, BKB, and taking the fight. Nullifier is not necessarily changing that outcome. Very difficult item for Q to connect with here.
Nightfall's running out of slots, man. This Aegis means he's got 2 items in his backpack, but he doesn't need any items to kill Ollie.
He's having a perfect game here, 8-0-6. Does opt for that late game Octarine. Again, makes me think though, if you were getting this Octarine, you're like, why not give him the Ags on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Nightfall? Team player today?
Yeah, maybe BetBoom are thinking longer term that Ursa's going to be able to farm up the Aghanim Scepter anyway. Emperor putting some damage on the Slardar, not good enough. Well, Save is beating back some heroes as a support on the front lines.
I mean, is this guy a support? I don't think he's a support anymore. That was a fight Nightfall was not at, and you narrowly escaped. Will BetBoom push this high ground? I mean, what's the game plan here? 2 minutes left on the Aegis. In fact, it's another smoke from Aurora. They do get the scan on the high ground, so they're going to take the long way around.
Oh, if they see like the Wind Ranger mid, maybe the Phoenix mid now, they know they're maybe a little bit separated. The Slardar's going to be at half HP, but they want the Phoenix. They do not want to let this supernova get off. And it's going to break around here. The slide goes out. They reveal the Phoenix, but they go for the Slardar instead. With the Only Slash on him, there's no supernova safe here. Now they go back to the Phoenix. Now that Toronto Tokyo showed himself from the trees, but he does have a refresh and a double dive away. Lornoff still trying to chase after him, but here comes Nightfall from behind. A nullifier thrown onto him. Q's being chased down by GPK right now while Jabs, he eats the cheese, but it doesn't matter. Nightfall, there's no amount of HP you can survive through all that. What a great dead shot back into the silence, but no. Amanta and Lornoff is able to get the hop away while 23 Savage kills the supports, and Omni Slash, the Swiss Slash rather, sticking around, but he's underneath the egg and underneath Nightfall's paws as he just cannot get away from this Ursa. Lornoff with a buyback sticks into the play. Not a buyback, just to jump into a remnant that is able to chase down GPK.
Lornoff going ham on the backside of that fight.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of work there as Nightfall, still untouchable, brings down 23.
It was Jabs with the buyback, and Jabs with the potential tieback aside the bash.
Oh, what? Dude, was that Hex even necessary?
That was
him out.
That was unnecessary.
I guess that's a solid fight for Aurora. I mean, you're doing it into Aegis. The Phoenix refreshed for an Aeon disc there in the double dive, so Toronto Tokyo gets out of there, but it does cost them some Aeon disc value. And ultimately, Lornoff gets to clean up. I mean, you'll take that over just this Aegis pushing into your high ground, I suppose. But you are still struggling to find footing with this Juggernaut in these late game situations where it just feels like the core matchups are so difficult for him.
Yeah.
That was another Swift Slash, Omni Slash that goes into Enraged Ursa. It takes no damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Aegis will expire here, but that will only free up a slot for Nightfall as he is approaching level 30 as well. So damn high level. That is an influential level 30 talent for this hero as well. Both his 25s are good, but getting a second charge here when you have this Octarine buildup and you have the shard, super impactful. Just means you're going to be permanently enraged in these fights. You're going to need this. I don't even know. You need to get him with this Hex on the Underlord at some point. Just feels possible.
25 Muerta, so he is not a support. He's got the 20% Gunslinger chance. This guy can actually do some big damage.
Oh yeah, he's hurt. He's got Quiver on top of it all.
Yeah, he's got a BKB Pierce the Veil.
Get him with this Hex on the Underlord at some point. Just feels possible.
25 Muerta, so he is not a support. He's got the 20% Gunslinger chance. This guy can actually do some big damage.
Oh yeah, he's hurt. He's got Quiver on top of it all.
Yeah, he's got a BKB Pierce the Veil. Stand there and just deliver some undead justice.
BetBoom are all level 25. You do not see that this often before the 60-minute mark, in fact. So Undispellable Haze, another problem for 23. And those eggs are just absolutely unkillable at this point.
Yeah, +2 supernova hit count. You have to hit it 15 times.
It's going to be high ground defense for Aurora. Not a position they are unused to, but one that may not be very favorable right now.
Aurora gonna have to put some magic together for this high ground defense. But they are kings of late game. Any team could make it work. Aurora is certainly one of them. Split pushing right now with the high ground defense of the Firestorm. Tier 5s are coming. GPK.
Almost pushed him to the low ground there. Jeez.
Did they kill him? Could Q
They do have Nullifier.
possibly get him with the Nullifier instant stun? Omni Slash. They have the vision. Oh, they got him.
Okay.
Back to the gate. They can go if they
Get
want.
the hell out. No way you're sticking around here.
Yeah, Q. He'll probably die for this one. Is they're going to refresh, catch him.
Actually,
Ornoff.
He
tries to defend Q, but no, there's too many heroes here.
Yeah,
but
no, wait, you're taking that. You're getting the hell out.
Hey.
That is going to stall this game. Another big core kill.
Great exchange for Aurora.
Did he have the gem on the win range? I don't think he did yet. Still 2 for BetBoom here on both supports. I don't know. In a way, it doesn't even feel like BetBoom care, though. Like, this win ranger's 6-slotted.
Yeah, like you got the pick off. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're not happy about it, but they're really just farming up the supports, it feels like. Everybody's capped. They're just waiting 60-minute items, waiting for Save to continue to become the next carry in this game. 9,000 gold on Nightfall. He's going to start investing. Retirement account here.
Gold and sweet.
You're going to check out the Roshan pit. It's going to be a late Roshan this time around, though. So plenty of time for everybody to respawn and get back into position. Wind Waker, Jabs is going to try and build that item next. I mean, it is a good thing that Nightfall didn't take that axe now. Because he's going to buy his own axe.
Guess so, yeah. I mean, he foresaw this coming.
Better for overall team net worth efficiency.
He is insanely kitted now. Almost level 30. Ags Octarine Shard with double Earth Shock charges. 9 overpower stacks.
But he's not that far ahead of Lornoff and 23.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm taking one of these over the other.
You're taking the Ursa late game? Didn't you say Ursa late game is eh?
I mean, not in this state. When you don't have instant lockdown for him.
See this one before. Ward, 23 Savage, blinking into the trees. He's stuck! Oh no, the carry is stuck. They have to get him out with a Force Staff, and the fight is already over. They've lost Lornoff. Save gets close and personal right on top of everybody here. Wait a minute, they're jumping from blue. They got GPK. Wait a minute, they still have an option here. 23 spinning on to Save, chasing after him with the Noxious Blade bouncing over. They'll get him as well. Buyback from GPK coming back into the fight. Nightfall, toss up the air by the Gold Scepter. Chad,
they bring the bear down.
Now the Omni Slash going up to the bear. The Enrage is shrugging off the damage for now, but eventually it leads away. And the Supernova explodes on top of the two of them. A buyback now with the Ursa. A jump away. Lornoff has to get out of it. Can't afford any sort of dieback scenario. Miro holding this ground while the rest of his heroes respawn, TP back into the outpost. Now they can go for the chains with Side Device. There goes the chains, but it's going to be the Juggernaut who dies before he can Swift Slash.
Will buy back instantly here as Aurora feel this Roche is the game. And they are going to try and contest it. Triple buyback out of BetBoom. It was a costly victory for them, but they did get 4 out of Aurora as well. So pretty much everybody's done here. I mean, Phoenix buyback, sure, but he's going to commit everything in the fight.
I mean, yeah, they got more buybacks out of Aurora, technically, by 1. But I feel like we have looked at Aurora's chances, and so is Dota Plus, as being very small. Now this is a 50-50
Oh, yeah,
game,
it's even.
right? This is just this one team fight. Whoever wins it is likely winning the game if it's a full-out brawl. We'll see if there's a team that backs off of this Roshan attempt, especially with 60-minute items coming in. Toronto, Tokyo, that is a very brave spot to be. They don't want to jump on it because they're still waiting on this Juggernaut to get his Omni Slash back up. But they want to make sure Roshan's not going on right now. Roshan's going to switch over to the other side of the map. BetBoom TPing.
Oh, they have a key advantage.
Aurora TPing to their outpost.
Wait, stuck.
Wait, oh no! Oh no! They wanted to be able to do a fast Roshan. They can't do it right now. Okay, the gate is going to expire, but BetBoom are set up for the defense now.
I don't know if you would have been able to do it in time, but we will never know. Of course, this would happen to Jabs.
I mean, what about the 60-minute items? Aurora's so fixated on this Roshan. BetBoom
trying to farm him.
They're trying to get the items on their other heroes, so it's up to Lornoff to get everything for everybody, while Nightfall is
could just be Roshan right now, though. Like, I feel like Roche could just be dead. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I love that the little archer on the low ground is just shooting him. Take that.
I mean, they can power shot every once in a while to keep them honest. They're backing into a corner. That is so dangerous against Supernova.
They're going to commit on the Underlord.
They're backing him back further and further. Aurora pushed up against the edge of the map now. BetBoom. He's got them all in one clumped area. Are they going to jump in for it? A gate goes out, but where? Just a little bit up the high ground there, just for what? A bit of vision?
A bit of vision, a bit of damage.
Jump in from Nightfall, going for jabs. A Supernova right on top of him. They can't really say jabs here.
Wait,
no, they're going for the egg. They're going for the egg. They got the egg. They managed to finish it off. Miro's fighting for his life over here with Wind Waker up in the high ground. He's trying to get away.
He was in the egg?
Forward from Lornoff. He put him inside the egg.
Wait, what?
Why did he put him inside the egg?
What?
Why?
He just misclicked him in the egg or what? He's a 6-slotted unkillable carry. One of the biggest misplays, I think just undefendable if that's actually what happened. I think he just straight up misclicked him. There was no way Nightfall was in danger there, right?
Yeah, he was going to kill jabs.
I mean, we need a replay of that. Like, maybe there was something weird going on, but I look at this fight, I see Nightfall dead. I don't even think Aurora knew how he died. Yeah,
he just grabbed him. Oh my god.
He was so far away from that egg too. He was BKB'd. He's going on the Underlord. A catastrophic series of misplays here for BetBoom as they end up deleting their own carry. Nightfall, he is too powerful for all of Aurora, but he is not powerful enough to overcome the 1v9 as his own team sends him into the Netherrealm. And now Aurora gifted a chance here in the late game. Absolutely gifted one. But can they even do anything with it? That's the better question.
Yeah, the creep wave got caught. There's backdoor protection.
They can't get anything.
They've got so much time that this Ursa is still dead for, and they can't even take a lane of barracks.
In the end, it cost them an Underlord buy, the last one they had.
Miro will fix Toronto Tokyo's mistakes, at least a little bit.
And to think that Nightfall gave Toronto Tokyo that Ags off-road.
Oh my god.
He let him have it.
He gave him the keys to his own destruction.
Never again. Never again when my 5 asked me for this Ags.
Well, now you've got Wind Waker on jabs.
He's saying, how am I dead? Where am I?
What have you done?
What is happening?
You've ruined me, Toronto Tokyo.
I mean, that's where you lie and just say, yo, bro, you DC lagged. I don't know. I didn't see what happened. Keyboard lag.
Look there.
All this for 20 pieces of silver, Judas.
I suppose little harm, little foul, though. As Aurora were unable to claim anything there. But they do get an Aegis. They get time. They get some neutral items. Apex for the Juggernaut. Pirate Hat for the Marcy. Force Boots on the Venomancer. And a Magic Lamp for the Underlord. So Jabs eventually got to some defensive items in this game. It was not pretty. His inventory still lacking a little bit, but he has Ghost Scepter, he has Lamp, he has Wind Waker, he has Halberd. A lot of defensive capability, and he is the one sitting on the front line daring the jump. That Lamp is going to help a lot with that. So much damage coming out from Save.
I mean, is there any...
Pirate Hat of his own. It's double Pirate Hat, double Giant's Ring for BetBoom.
Dude, this spin is doing a ton of damage. Have you seen the crit numbers on it?
I mean, he actually gets to play the fight. He does some work. But that's the question. Does he get to play the fight? That has been the problem the entire game for 23. And I suppose it has become a problem for Nightfall as well. The question here is, should have he taken Giant's Ring? It's only making him a larger target for that Supernova.
23. Just gonna keep this on repeat. force BetBoom to come up with the solution because he's got a minute left on this Aegis. He can keep chipping away at these buildings. Hell, the siege wagons are going to do it for you.
I mean, you can chip these buildings, you can get a racks, but it's not winning you the game. You have to win a fight.
Okay, there goes the Aegis. Wow, that was fast. And he's going to come back into a supernova explosion potentially.
Supernova.
We got the Omni Slash. A Wind Waker going up.
We got
Smart Art, but he got hexed up.
Wind Waker.
Wait, a Wind Waker coming out from Jabs. Gets this thing. 23 Savage.
No, Omni Slash.
Nero is low, though, and lower enough will finish him off with a Remnant. He'll chase him down. Q's going to hop on out.
Have to get out. You have to get out if you are Aurora.
They've got 20 seconds left on the buyback from the Juggernaut, so he will be back up if BetBoom were to barrel down the high ground, but I kind of doubt it.
They were tentative to chase there.
Yeah, they were. They don't think the Juggernaut is like the be-all, end-all of Aurora's team fight. They'd be right.
I can't believe he didn't get anything else off there when he came down. He refreshed for a second.
I think he refreshed to spin.
Yeah,
which
he was trying to survive, I think, more than get that Omni Slash off. And I mean, I don't even know. Even if you get Omni there, I don't know if it even does anything. That's part of the problem in this game is how do you connect this spell in these late game fights?
Yeah.
And the problem now is you're playing up against double Pirate Hat from BetBoom, so they're just always going to have 5 buybacks up. And at this point, save is a real big problem. Like, you can try and bring down this Ursa. You can try and have something go horribly wrong for Nightfall again, but it might not matter if this Muerta just ends up out-carrying everybody.
Yeah, you got to go through the gate for it to do anything here.
Well, this does deal damage off the talent now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you can burn some creep waves down.
It kills the range creeps?
I mean, not the worst, but that is a pretty underwhelming level 25 talent, if I must say so.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know if that's better than some extra root duration. You can cancel some blinks and stuff with it, but I don't think there's anything too relevant this game. But Jab's having fun. Mirror Shield and Lincoln's up on this Ember, so you really have to think about your Hex and your Abyssals going into Lorinov here. If you do manage to catch him or lock him down.
I guess that was the idea with his Roshan gate you were talking about.
Yeah, I think
threw it up to that high ground. He's just trying to cover some areas so the Slardar can't blink in.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking about there, but that's kind of it's a big gamble. Like, there's a world where when you die with this Underlord, you have buyback. You want to gate back into the fight to get the max value out of it. Everybody getting slotted here. Still a 30K lead for BetBoom, but that's what the Pirate Hat's running. I mean, where do you even go from here?
Last thing you want is to be going well past 60 minutes and have less Pirate Hats than the enemy.
I mean, BetBoom always take these Pirate Hats. They're a big proponent of the value in the late game. Can't disagree with them. Item's just damn strong.
Initiation on Amiro with the Omni Slash, but the Wind Waker Nullifier goes down, stopping it, but it's enough. It's enough to be able to disjoin 23. He has to back off now. BetBoom.
Is this enough
Can
opening?
they pursue?
It's so hard to find the opening now.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised, though, that there wasn't more spell shields from BetBoom, just because the importance of the Omni Slash for Aurora's damage.
Talking mirror shields.
Each blow sharpens my blade.
I don't know. I mean, they do have Lotus Orbs. They have Aeon Discs. It's honestly been pretty difficult to find these Omni Slashes at all. Now there's some lag. 70-minute mark. Some would say this is Aurora's wheelhouse.
Could be worse. I don't think so.
After a
Hey,
decade of Southeast Asian pubs, what more can prepare you for games like this?
Yeah, they've completed their warm-up.
I mean, it's 70 minutes. They are in a game 3 of a series. The game is lagging.
For elimination.
This is an average C pub. Another day in the office for Jabs and the boys. Discord's down. You can't even hear your teammates.
Yep.
The environment has been simulated to perfection here. I don't even know what other items most of these heroes can get at this point. Like, I just feel like everybody's pretty much capped. Like, Save has an upgradable boot slot. He can get a refresher, but all the cores in this game are maxed. You now have an Abyssal on Q, so he's pretty much capped out there as well. I mean,
What is this new axe from Venomancer? Venomancer's attacks have increased base damage per debuff from Venomancer on the target. 15% base damage per debuff. That sounds terrible. I was thinking like, oh, they should get an Ags Venomancer, because I was thinking of the old one where he dies and he does the Gale explode. Who's trying to do more right-click physical damage on Venomancer?
Yeah, I don't understand that one. Like, even in some scenario where you have 10 debuffs on an opponent, you get a double damage rune.
Oh, well, no, it's just his debuffs. It's just Venomancer's debuffs.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. So he could only get Poison Sting, Gale, Noxious Plague, and... Oh, you don't even have the shard anymore. That's not a separate ability.
Well,
now it's
I
just
mean,
a
that's
part of
nice,
Gale,
you know.
so.
That's nice that Vento's working to balance the game out.
See, you could get 45% base damage. He is a universal hero, though, to be fair, so 45% base damage is a lot more. But... I don't know, maybe 6 months from now, Venomancer carry is the big thing.
Yeah, I'm
Like
sure.
idiot.
I'm sure. We're just behind on the meta. Right-click Veno is going to be breaking games in half a year. TI.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
no,
but
it
more
didn't.
importantly, when is the Abyssal Horde going to split push the enemy base?
Never. It never will.
Why
As much
not?
as you would like to enjoy this, it is very underwhelming.
Yeah, well, so is Cleve.
I don't think so. I think Cleve is,
He's
Cleve is
done
quite good.
Zero building damage as an Underlord. Zero!
I mean, to be fair, Toronto Tokyo's also done 0.
No, that's not fair at all. Those heroes are nothing alike. The only thing they're alike is they're both strength heroes.
Maybe we need to give Phoenix some building melting. He's a fire bird.
Yeah, like the...
Like
give him the Bat Rider
Yeah.
treatment, the
Yeah.
sticky napalm burning down towers.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, Aurora need to hope that Toronto Tokyo does a bit more sabotaging here, because I feel like that's the best thing that's happened to him in the last 20 minutes in this game. Yeah. Toronto Tokyo solo killed this carry. Why is it always BetBoom, man? This team always just has some cursed stuff happen to them, like in-game, out-of-game.
It's always around Roshans, too. This team, when it comes to Roshan,
They're the most cursed objective team ever, dude.
remember
the
when
Tormentors,
when
the
they were
Roshes.
5 stacked inside of Roshan and got wiped?
Christ, what the hell is that, man?
Yeah, what was that?
What?
There he is. Public enemy
Menace.
number 1.
A menace.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that to that degree of, like, the team sabotaging them. It's such an insane sequence. Like, sometimes you think about, like, Wyvern and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a terrible curse. They really cost him a lot there. Like, I don't even know what else can sabotage a game. You know, I guess you could Pugna decrep someone when he's trying to right-click somebody. Oh, it cost him a lot of that shit. He just sucked him in from 500 units away. Wasn't even close. During BKB and Rage. Like,
Took an unkillable carry and made him...
I don't even understand. Like, what was he...
15 hits is all it takes to kill the Ursa.
They're like, oh, time to kill the egg, boys. I was like, why are they killing his egg? Like, even if you kill egg, it's like, wait, that's cool. But it's not, it doesn't necessarily win you the fight. You know, you commit a lot to kill on it, there's still going to be this Ursa.
There's not an Ursa.
He's just dead. His expression is so good. Like, where am I?
You could literally see him go, what?
Guys, where did I go?
taken into the warm embrace.
Guys, pause the game.
Mother Phoenix.
My hero glitched. It's a patch glitch.
Guys, I got one shot. I was literally full HP and I instantly died.
I'm genuinely
Mama.
surprised he didn't like pause or something and just be like, oh, hero bug gone from map.
Gabe? No. Toronto, Tokyo.
The hand of God smited you.
Oh, God. I mean, if this was a...
So good,
If this
actually.
was
So good.
a bigger match, like a LAN, final sort of thing, this would be on par with the KYX. That was actually worse than the KYXY denying Aegis.
Yeah, it's way worse. I mean, the only reason it's not all we're talking about right now is because they didn't lose the game off that.
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane. It's just so funny that he gave him that Ags off the Roche too. Like, that's what makes it so juicy for me. It's like he let him have that. Like, bro, yo, give me this Ags on the Phoenix, man. I'm gonna start cooking with it. I'm gonna have some clutch ass saves in the late game, bro.
I'm going
Trust
to
me.
absolutely
Trust me.
destroy
Yeah.
a hero with this Ags.
Yo, you see my name, bro? Click on that shit in the base. My name's on that. I'm a TI winner. I'm a TI winner, bro. You give me that Ags. Okay, you're captain. You're TI champion. And boom.
Shit.
Did him dirty.
Sorry, wrong team spirit. Wrong team spirit. Whew. Man. Good times. All right. Wait, how much damage does Nightfall's 61 damage?
Yeah, not incredible, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is a free sacred relic.
Yeah, it's free 61 damage.
Can't really complain about a free sacred.
No, you can't.
You know, I mean, that's also like the thing is, okay, 60 damage, maybe not a lot, but 60 damage in late games where you can amp it up and stuff. How many of these fights in the late games have we seen come down to, 1 or 2 right clicks either way, right?
Yeah.
These things add up in Dota. They
His
really
Abyssal Blade is getting an extra 0.3 disable.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. You get some extra stun duration off the Abyssal and the normal bash. It's kind of nice, especially when you have Refresher. You can double Abyssal someone. That ends up being double-double.
Yep.
Double-double animal style. One of my favorites.
We're going to have Shivas next on Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, he just needs to be able to see where everybody is in the fight, so some unfortunate stuff doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to click on the wrong hero.
Dude,
We've got
That's the other thing. You
GPK.
can't even say, like, I didn't see you there. So he's like the largest unit on the map. Giants Ring, BKB, Enraged Ursa. Like, brother.
Maybe that was the problem. His model was too big.
I'm telling you, that's why he took Giants Ring. It's like, you see me now, man?
GPK is going to be going Arcane Blink Wind Ranger.
Okay. I'm interesting.
Yeah, outside of just having the blink up more often, I'm not really sure. Like, is that really better than just getting Swift Blink?
I, mean,
I
Swift Blink's
understand it
not
doesn't
great.
help with, like, focus fire, but, like,
I think Arcane Blink makes sense.
okay.
It's just stronger on these spellcaster hybrid carries. Like, it adds up over the course of a fight. It really does. If you want the blink slot, I guess
Yeah,
there's an
you know what
argument
adds
you
up
could go
is the
something
extra
else.
35 agility you get after using Swift Blink.
I don't think is that really changing that much though. I feel like he's either connecting on his spells or he's not.
Slardar. Well, Slardar's got a lot of room for growth, but Refresher. Maybe a Nullifier or something. And Refresher for Muerta, which you talked about already. Like, he's going to get this, like, Pierce the Veil, BKB, refresh, do it again. So for 16 seconds in a team fight, he's going to be kind of untouchable. Unless he gets Supernova grabbed. What's the growth for Aurora? What's their late game? You can get a
You hope he pulls more people into the eggs.
we could get an E-plate on the
That's your late
Underlord.
game, dude. That's your late game. Let's be honest here. Like, in most of these normal team fight setups, I think Aurora on the back foot. I think they win fights by taking high ground defensive fights with buybacks and, like, abusing this Underlord on the front line where you're going to jump this Underlord and try and kill him. You don't have a nullifier yet on BetBoom.
Yep.
That's one big thing they're missing. I think. Do they have one? I think they had one on somebody, right?
For those of you guys who are wondering what the
hell? How do they not
length
even
of the
know
pause
about
is going on here, we do have a internet issue. Aurora is actually playing from a PC cafe, and unfortunately, the PC cafe had the internet go down. So it sounds like they promised it would be back in 10 minutes. Hopefully, that was 5 minutes ago, but we'll see. I mean, if you're gonna have a long pause, doing any of these super late game scenarios is the best because. That's the beauty about Dota nowadays. We go to level 30. We have an Aghanim's scepter and a shard. You've got all these 30 talents. You've got so many different things you could buy to like help change the game. You've got tier 5 neutral items. I was very surprised that no one took Book of Shadows on Aurora. I thought for sure
Maybe
that
they
would
didn't
be
get
the
it.
go-to item to save whoever gets jumped by the Ursa.
There is no saving Fuzzy Wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Toronto, Tokyo sucked him in. He said, I'm never giving you Ags again. The fable of Nightfall.
You're really just going to sit here and beat this dead
I am.
bear,
Dude.
aren't
It's
you?
goddamn hilarious. to me.
Beat this dead bear to
In fact, it
death.
was making me think of all the history of Dota 2. What were the biggest misplays of all time?
So there was the KYXY Deny of the Aegis.
Yeah, that's
There
probably
was there was Aurora. Was it Aurora? Were they Aurora back then? The pop off against Liquid when they get backdoored.
That was
by Zai.
Talon at that point.
Talon?
Yeah, 23 Savage stood up from his chair, had to sit back down, made it to live stream fails.
That wasn't like an I mean, that was a blunder of him like standing up and doing that, but that was like a team blunder of like they didn't realize.
Yeah, but that was 100% a misplay.
Yeah. For
There's a chance they win that game.
I mean, they should have won that game. He really should have.
I'm noticing a
another
trend. I'm
pretty
noticing
high
a trend
profile.
here, Austin. A lot of Southeast Asian players involved in these. I think it speaks to the volatility of the region, right?
Yeah.
Some of the greatest plays we've ever seen and some of the worst. They're just at the extremes on both ends.
That's why it makes it's the most entertaining Dota we'll watch.
Well,
Dude, you cannot tell me those. If you're looking to kill some time and you want to watch every game go 50 minutes and be super fun to watch at the last 10 minutes of the game, Southeast Asia is your region to watch.
I mean, okay, I would say, yeah, Southeast Asia, most entertaining Dota if one player had not existed in Dota 2.
Wait, what?
And I think you all know who I'm talking about.
I don't. What?
Eternal Envy. That guy is the most entertaining Dota to watch. And it's not close. Like, if you're picking one dude in the history of Dota to watch to be entertained, you're taking that guy.
That guy did have.
It's not close. Unless you're on a team with him. I can tell you, when I was on a team with him, it wasn't as entertaining.
I mean, talking about the opposite, that Eternal Envy was.
That was another. That was another misplay too. A really well-known misplay was when he died to Roshan's Invoker.
Oh, I don't actually remember that one. I immediately thought of him pausing because
He tried to like solo Roche with Exort Invoker with like the Forge Spirits toggling the aggro and everything. He died, and then the enemy team just went in and killed Roche on like 200 HP. I was in that game, and our perspective was like, well, it was just another Thursday. But that thing blew up so big, it was like this monster fail play. Yeah, there's another example.
I was thinking of the time that he paused because it wasn't actually him, but someone on his team was playing Slardar and they bought Basher, or they were trying to bind Basher, but they couldn't. And Envy paused and said the game is bugged. They won't let Slardar buy Basher.
That's pretty good.
Which, if you guys don't know, that was you couldn't buy the Basher.
That was actually the case for a long time.
Yeah.
Couldn't buy Blink on Pudge either for a very long time.
Maybe
No
gave
Basher on Troll.
the free pathing at some point. Any other big fails?
Oh, hard to think about them, actually. I think most Dota games come down to, like, small stuff, honestly. You know, like, I could tell you some small fail, but...
Okay, give me a small fail that you think, like, was very impactful that, like, people didn't notice or something.
I don't fucking remember, man.
By the way, Eternal Envy was
yeah,
a big part of one of my favorite games of all time.
Which game was that?
Frankfurt Major upper bracket game 3 between Secret and EG or OG. EG. No, OG went through the lower bracket. That was one of the best games of all time, I think. That was such a high skill.
Was that the Divine Rapier Ember?
Yeah.
Where he like ended up on the cliff?
Eternal Envy was popping off with Ember Spirit and then had a
crazy,
Eternal Envy play.
What the hell was that game, man?
Dude, that game was a sick game to watch.
He was very far ahead of people at that time. On that Ember Spirit for sure.
Yeah.
That was a weird tournament. It's like the first big major. You had all these super established teams, but you also had like EG coming off where they were still supposed to be good. People kind of doubting them.
Yeah. Everybody thought it was going to be the EG versus Secret, like, back-to-back matchup.
Yep.
That we were going to see them in the upper bracket and see them in the grand finals. And then OG manages to beat Secret. Was it Secret lower bracket? Either way, they came through and worked both those teams.
Too good, man. Moon Meander, major champion.
That's true. Never, ever forget.
Never, ever, ever gonna do it again.
Now he's trying to do it in the coach position.
Yeah, he's doing great now. Found his role in the game. You know, those who can't play, teach, Austin.
And those who
can't teach, go back and play again because the money's way better. So, welcome to the world of Dota 2.
I thought you were going to say those who can't teach become an analyst.
No.
And bullshit for a living. Like
those who can do it all become an analyst. They're the greatest of everybody.
Uh-oh.
Woo!
Oh, the Cloud9 teepees. Okay, the Insania Gyrocopter incident, that's one of the biggest fails of all time.
Of course. Of course.
The Cloud9 no teepees, and they get throned.
Yeah, that was also Eternal Envy.
The Kyle Yule Scepter play. Dropped his Yules.
I mean, was that actually a misplay? Like,
what?
I feel like that was just a play from Kyle. That was just an average play from Kyle. I don't think you can categorize that as a misplay. If that's the average play.
Put some respect on Complexity Swindlemelons, who beat
no
Samael in the mid-late.
Is that true?
Yes, he beat Samael in that upper bracket. When they matched up against each other at the upper bracket at TI, Kyle actually worked Samael.
With what matchup?
I don't remember.
What is this, some bullshit matchup? Like, oh, he worked them with Razor versus, melee creep. Like, is this the matchup he played? Viper versus Ember Spirit, he worked them. Like,
I don't know. You can go back and look at it just because you don't remember.
I'm not giving any respect to Swindlemelons. You can come and fight me on that.
Were you coaching that EG?
What? Bro, let me tell you something. If I was coaching EG, we ain't losing no Swindlemelons mid, okay? Have some respect for my name.
Oh, sorry. That was the EG that won TI. You're right. My bad.
All right. You know what? We don't need to have these conversations. Wait, was that TI5?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
No,
that
wasn't.
That was
Swindlemelons played on Complexity
first round of upper bracket.
I mean, no wonder EG won that TI. They had like a free fucking run. Makes sense now, dude.
That's true. They did match up in the grand finals against a
dude, half their
card.
This actually makes so much sense now. I've been wondering for years, how the hell did Fear win a TI? Round 1, this guy plays versus Swindlemelons mid. Round 2, he plays versus Team Secret, who choke out of their goddamn. Oh no, they already choked. Yeah, they choked before they played against eHome.
They played against eHome.
Well, the most favorable matchup for them in the entire tournament because they'd beaten China the entire year.
Kyle played Quap against Samael's Lena. Dude, you got to give it to him.
He actually worked them?
He worked them, man.
That might be the greatest
Dude,
performance in his entire life, honestly, if he actually worked them.
yeah. Dude, Dota Buff even says middle one. Lane outcome.
God,
He won.
damn.
Yeah, Kyle
Kyle Swindlemelons beat Prime Sumail in an unfavorable matchup at TI5.
Yeah. And then the next matchup
Respect,
he played,
bro, respect.
Dragonite versus Ember Spirit. And that was draw. But it was the first one. The first one was the hype one.
I'm gonna ignore in my brain that that's real. I don't want to live in a world where that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna selectively remove it from my understanding of the Dota 2 history. It never happened. It never happened. I mean, I don't even know if TI5 existed, to be honest.
There was the Duraccio. I'm not gonna call this a fail.
When he killed himself on Tormentor?
He killed himself on
Yeah, we were
Tormentor.
there for
That's
that
not a fail. That's just like unlucky. You know?
Yeah, that's not a fail. That was just bad RNG you couldn't account for because people didn't think about that.
Yeah.
There's no way he could have thought about that in the moment. But it is an epic fail in a way, you know.
There was the myriad of Arteezy cliffs and
I mean, that's
trees.
not a misplay. That's just fate, bro. Like, again, not a misplay. The man's just destined to be on the cliff.
Arteezy yearns for the cliff. He yearns to be on top.
The cliff. It beckons to me.
I must go. EE blinking into Nyx with his shield on when he was playing Ember. The Eternal MV chair fall, of course, which you were also there for.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? You know, sometimes in your life you're going to be part of history, but you don't know what part of history you're going to be on.
Yeah.
You might be in the glorious parts. You might be in the failed parts. That's Dota. And a lot more people end up on the bad side of those losses than on the good side of those wins.
That's why you become a caster. You're always on the good side.
That's partially true, yeah.
Yeah.
There was also the fabled Bulba Magnus game.
Oh, I referenced that one earlier when I said if you.
That's
what
a
was
famous
that game?
game. That's a famous game. That was like an elimination game at a major or something, right?
Yeah, the sub
was-
1K hero
Was it
damage.
Digital Chaos, I think. I think that was like the DC with Abed. And maybe not. Maybe that was like other stack.
Yeah.
Unlucky. You know, what can you do? Unlucky.
Yeah, that was. I think he retired not long after that. Went full time coaching not long after that.
I mean, retire is like, I mean, retirement in Dota is not like a real thing, you know, for a lot of people. It just
Somebody
means you
just
got
randomly
better
said
off.
the Sumail arrow to Jug. That's not a fail. That's one of the best plays of all time.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
Well, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about EG versus eHome.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. How is that a fail? That's a GOAT play. Is he saying it's a fail for Ice? Or no, that wasn't even Ice. Who was that? That was Fenrir?
No, who's playing carry? Because Ice was playing
Old
the...
Chicken. Was it Old Chicken on the
I think it was Old
Jug?
Chicken. I think you're right.
Because it was like Ice on Timber carry that game. So it was, I think it was mid-Jug. I think Old Chicken played mid-Jug. I'm remembering that lineup correctly. Who was in there? It was Old 11 in the offlane. Yeah, so it was Old Chicken Juggernaut. Got arrowed out of Omnislash. So are you saying it's a fail for Old Chicken? Like he shouldn't have Omnislashed in that direction?
I'm sure.
Dumbass.
I'm sure he's just bringing up a hype game.
Oh yeah, the game was hype.
I had a great cast too.
I don't think anybody remembers the cast, to be honest. I was there. I don't even remember who casted that series.
I hate you.
I think it was Cinderin.
The arrow. Ice was playing Timbersaw. That was Old 11 and Old Chicken.
Yeah, I think I've told you this before. When I was watching that game.
Yeah.
When we won that game 1, and I was coaching them at the time, My only thought process now, okay, coaching was super rudimentary back then, so don't blame me for this. But my thought process as I was like walking down to go meet with the team is I was like, fuck, dude. This kid's ego is going to be so uncontrollable.
Wait, what?
All I was thinking is Sumail's ego is going to be so big after that game. Like, how do I ever say anything to this guy again as a coach? Right? Like, you win the unwinnable game, you arrow somebody out of Omni Slash. I was just sitting there like, well, I'm useless now.
What was your relationship with Sumail like on that team?
No, we don't have to get into personal history.
What do you mean?
We don't have to get into personal.
I know. I think it's interesting.
Nobody wants to hear about old war stories in the trenches.
Is exactly the time to share those old wars.
I mean, we were boys on that team.
But you didn't start as boys. Sumail hated you.
He hated me. He tried to. He was the reason I almost didn't get that job, actually.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, SVG here was the coach for EG when they went to TI6. Correct.
And TI7 and TI9.
You did TI9 too?
One of those other TIs. Maybe it was TI8. I don't know. One of those TIs we just sucked at, so I forget that one.
Okay.
That's how it works usually. You only remember the stuff you did well at.
And Sumail tried to block you being hired.
Yeah, because I ganked him in pubs.
because he thought you were an asshole because you would gank him all the time in pubs.
Yeah. Which was not true. At least that's what I said. Now, in reality, it was actually true. But he couldn't have known that. So it was kind of unfair.
Okay, but can you explain why you ganked him all the time in pubs?
Because it's Sumail. It's funny.
Wait, that's not what you
hilarious.
told me. You told me it was because Sumail was the best player in the game.
Yeah.
So you
My philosophy back then is if you want to improve in the game, go and interact with the best player in the game. So I'm going to go gank Sumail. If I can gank Sumail, I can gank anybody. It's like that scene from Dodgeball. You know, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can gank Sumail, you can gank anybody. I'm like, I'm just going to keep ganking this guy over. I'm going to queue into him. I'm going to gank his ass. And if I can gank him, that's good confidence right there. I think that's a good idea, right?
No, it is.
And it was funny because he got mad at it after like the third time. He's like, "Who's this goddamn random scrub who keeps Q sniping me and ganking me over and over? Let me play the goddamn game."
Wait, were you actually Q sniping?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's North America. Everybody Q snipes everybody since the dawn of time. Well, you're acting like you aren't sitting there on your friends list and you see RTZ hit find game, and then you instantly see 30 people all of a sudden finding match.
That is true.
Yeah, that guy couldn't play a normal Dota game for the 6 years of his career.
Yeah.
People wonder why NA Dota players are so behind usually. That's the biggest reason. We're holding ourselves back. It's self-sabotage, man. We took the whole region of NA Dota players and put them in a goddamn supernova and blew them up and took them down with us. That's NA pubs. It's just everybody supernovaing each other and nobody actually getting anywhere. Like people talk about the gatekeeping, it was goddamn real for sure. It's just not the gatekeeping you thought. It wasn't Boba saying you can't get on a good team. It was pub sabotage. And I'm not separating myself from that. I was part of that too. I take responsibility. I think it's hilarious, but I take responsibility. But it got me where I needed to go. So, I mean, who really won in the end? Hey, there's a gem on the ground. Whose gem is it?
Wow. It's so shiny.
It's nice. Useless at this point, but...
All right, wait, this pause has gone on long enough that I think we deserve to know the name of the LAN cafe. I think they need to be named and shamed at this point in time.
Named and shame?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not their fault,
They deserve
man.
some bad adversing for this. They're
I
jeopardizing Aurora's chance to be able to get a direct invite to Riyadh. Because they got to make it through this entire lower bracket.
I mean, look, man.
Otherwise, they have to
happens.
go through the gauntlet that is the C qualifiers.
Stuff happens, man.
That's just rolling the dice at that point in time. There is no way that Aurora is guaranteed to make it through that.
Sometimes the will of the universe just works against you.
Somebody said EG eHome was one of the best sets of all time. Game 1 was one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, I don't know about
nobody
the
remembers
set there,
Game
brother.
2 because...
I don't know about the set there.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, that series really showed the power of coaching adjustments within a series and how much it can really just skew a Game 2 compared to a Game 1.
Apparently, we're being told that it's an ISP-wide issue, so... We're not shaming
that's
the
a
LAN.
problem.
So now we need to know the name of the ISP. Now they need to be named and shamed.
You know, I was about to name one there. But I don't know. I'm not going to start naming ISPs on air because that's a dangerous game, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game. I'm not going to play that one.
You talk about fails. You know, so Owen shared his casting fail.
That was hilarious.
On one
Actually,
of our
I've never
content
seen that
pieces.
before.
You've never
I
seen
found
that one?
absolutely hilarious.
LGD, your DAC 2018 loser.
That's so good, actually. That's so good.
I mean, shout out to Owen. Like that is amazing recovery because there was a CS:GO cast that happened somewhat recently where they
Could be worse.
they
Could be
put the
worse.
name
Wait, no,
put the
wait,
wrong
no,
name
could-
on the trophy lift. And this guy was he's a good up and coming caster too. Like he's pretty solid. I like him a decent amount. So it was particularly bad because it was like one of the first big finals that he ever casted, and he listed the wrong name on the trophy lift. Oof.
That's the one word you're supposed to get right.
Yeah. There's the LD one.
What did LD mess up? Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is that actually it?
That's actually a.
Do people consider that a fail? That's like an epic point in Dota history. That got turned into a voice line.
I mean, it was one of those so bad it's good.
Yeah, he failed his way upwards. That's the dream of every caster everywhere. You've been doing it for years, Austin. You didn't get a voice line out of your fail upwards. At least he did. He made some money off that. Actually, he didn't, but he made some. Well, he didn't make anything, actually. It actually sucks for him, but he got immortalized.
Yeah, that's actually even worse because that was like TI2. So I don't know how much money he was making for that at all.
Yeah, dude, imagine he could have gotten like royalties for that for like the last 10 years. Damn. Damn, people be messing up stuff more often.
I had my own fail that got widely put out to the internet, but
yesterday? You're talking about yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't really go into the details of that one, but might have had a.
Yeah, you're talking about the one backstage. That was embarrassing.
What? And then we asked what was your biggest fail, and you were just like, I don't have one.
Well, I mean, I remember the biggest thing I messed up, gameplay wise.
Okay, well,
I can tell you that,
Yeah,
or the
what
one
was
that sticks in my memory. TI-10. We were playing for trying to avoid elimination in groups on Quincy Crew. And we were struggling immensely at that tournament. Like, we were just not playing well at all. I was trying to rally the team as the captain, of course, being a stalwart force on the main front, picking up people's morale, making sure they're good, giving them speeches. We're going to do it, guys. We're going to do it. We go in this game. It's some game I'm playing Ancient Apparition versus like an Alk or some healing carry. And I threw this ult on him. And we set this play up beautifully. I made an immaculate call on the map. We set it up
this
super
isn't a
well.
fail at all right now. What the hell?
We got the right heals at the right time, but we had to execute the chain stun into the A ult hitting for this guy to die, or like he BKB resets, and it doesn't go well. And I threw this A ult, and I just straight up fat fingered the hell out of my keyboard, and like proc the A ult like 20 feet in front of my hero. And Quinn plus I think two other people on our team went in on the play. And they were just like, bro, where's the A ult?
Where's the plus?
And I don't know what I said. I was just like, yo, keyboard lag, boys. I don't know what happened. Like, keyboard lag. And I remember at the time, I think MSS tried to like pick up the team after that. He was like, you know what? Mistakes happen. We just play, blah, blah, blah. But it was like I could feel the air get sucked out of that game. Like instantly. It was just like, we're fucked, And it was like, shit.
The captain who's trying to keep it all together becomes the source.
Yeah. I mean, it
all of
happens. Like, you're never going to hit every button well in your Dota career. And the times that you don't are the ones that are going to stick with you forever. And you're going to wake up every day and remember them.
Crazy.
And you just better hope that you win enough tournaments in between that you have that money to cushion the feeling of the times you messed up. Because if you don't, then you're really screwed, man. Then you just got sleep demons and you don't even have the cash to fend them off. That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
In which case, you go into talent work.
Yeah, I haven't missed an AA blast in years. Tell you that much. My mind is free.
No longer weighed down by the past.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If I hit that A blast, I bet you Team Spirit doesn't win that TI. I'll tell you that much. Whole different trajectory of like, you know, we're talking about Marvel worlds opening up and the million simulations. I'm telling you, that's the only one they win it. We're going to see some flex action. Oh, that's pretty good.
Are you saying in some sort of alternate universe you're the one to win that TI?
No, I think we still get eliminated. I just don't think Spirit win it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they just get dragged down.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you said that Spirit. You said this was in groups, and this was supposed to be. I remember this now. You said that Spirit was doing badly in groups.
Yeah, they were awful. People forget that they went like 0-7 or 0-8 in their first 2 days in groups.
Yeah,
they didn't win a single
leading
game.
up to that game, you told your team,
they're garbage.
This is it, boys. They're garbage. This is where we're gonna get the dub.
That was
turn around our group
That was
stage.
my speech day 3 going in. We needed a turnaround. We were like 2-5. They're 0-8. I'm like, yo, this team is trash, guys. No way we're losing to this team. They're on their way out.
I don't think so.
Team Spirit, who nobody even knows who these guys are, haven't won a single game. We're gonna get some easy dubs here and gain some momentum.
Could be worse.
They never lost a single series after that, so you know,
That's true. And they lost very few games. Too.
Dota works in mysterious ways.
You actually just powered them up to go on one hell of a run.
I mean, I'd like to claim credit, but they were probably going to win that tournament no matter what.
Like, guys, they can't even hit us with Ice Blast.
Like, come on, man. Why couldn't we played them day 1 or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's why people always think in these group stages, like, oh, like, who do you want to play first and what? I want to play the strong teams first. If you want the better record, you want to play them first. But if you want to end up in the better position, you want to play them later.
Yeah, if you want,
That's the trade-off.
if your momentum is important for your team, you want to
Exactly.
face the weaker teams first.
Yeah. It's like day 1 of a group stage. Who do you want to play to get that sweet 2-0 on day 1 of the groups? Evil geniuses every time. Every time. It's just a free 2-0. Like, you know, at the end of the groups, they're going to demolish you. But at that first series,
Oh yeah, they were
absolute trash. They're absolute trash every time. So
They were so
Always
bad
take
day
them.
1 of every
yeah,
group.
always you pray for that draw. We got a game forfeit timer.
That's the first time I've had a
Ooh.
game timer for a forfeit. So Aurora had
Rough,
3
dude.
minutes to get back in the game.
There is Underlord in the game.
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, he might have just like
Okay.
tethered his phone internet or something.
He DCs
Now we
again.
DC'd. Uh-oh.
I hope they do not have to forfeit here, but of course we can't sit here all day. So clock has been drawn. We shall pray. Everybody in the chat, pray for Aurora right now.
Give your energy to Aurora's ISP.
Pray that Jabs and the boys can make it back. That the CEO has indeed not been sabotaged. Clock is ticking.
LD was the first to curse in a cast.
Yeah, well, he wasn't the last, so.
Yeah, there really was a taboo for cursing, but Valve was always like, yeah, you guys can curse if you feel like it fits.
Yeah, but not all over the place. You got to do it in the right place at the right time. There's an art to it, Austin. You can't just be dropping F-bombs all over the place. You're going to take away the mystique.
Yeah, how many F-bombs do you think I've dropped in my career?
They're probably like -6. You're weak. You're a weak person, Austin.
What?
I save mine for TI.
You save it for
That's right.
the biggest matches. I see.
Yep. And I've been saving one mother F-bomb for the peak of my career. I've been saving that one. There's been a couple times. And so
Wait, we haven't peaked yet?
No. Well,
Damn.
you have long. That was 5
Oh.
years ago. I am ascending right now. And I can tell you,
Ascending.
when I drop that MF bomb, oh, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. There's been a couple times I've thought about it. Like, is this the moment?
We casted
this the
TI
moment?
finals, and we casted one of the best series of all time. And Liquid
Who?
Thunder Predator.
Us?
Yes.
Who?
Why do you do this to me?
Yeah, that Liquid series. Was
Wait, where's the timer? We got like a minute and a half left, right?
Oh. I was too new back then to drop a MF bomb, though. Okay, they've gained a reprieve. We just heard Aurora have been gifted more time from the
They've been
Dota
saved.
universe. There's more time for us to talk about random bullshit.
Gabe Newell himself is shown mercy to Aurora in these dark times.
You have my respect. You have my respect.
Thank you.
Could be worse. Oh,
Could
wait,
be
no,
worse.
it couldn't.
I mean, big shout outs to
Oh,
BetBoom
wait, no,
for
it
sticking
couldn't.
this through. I don't know what the rules are, but they're keeping their spirits up. Maybe it's good for them, honestly. They get time to recover mentally.
Yeah, what's it like when you're playing a professional match and you have one of these long pauses go on? Because I'm sure you had one, right?
It's awful, yeah. It's absolutely terrible. You lose all sense of what's happening in the game.
Dude, I can't even imagine like a pause going into late game too.
It's
We
really
already barely know what's going on.
Yeah, it's really bad. So much of Dota is based on, I mean, I call it like the internal clock. You have these internal timers running as a player about when stuff is happening and how strong people are and the rate at which they're accumulating strength. Even things like Roshan or Aegis or cooldowns and all these things are the obvious ones. But even other ones of like a power level of a hero, the way the fights have been going, the range at which you've been initiated on throughout the game. These are all feel-based clocks that kind of progress over the course of the game and you hone them in and you pause for 30 minutes. Those are all gone. So you just kind of run in and die like a dumbass, and then people are like, "Oh, what's this guy doing?" Well, he's
Dude,
not
I've seen so many of those post-pause and then just somebody just runs out there and dies almost within like 30
post-pause
to 45
catastrophe.
seconds.
At certain points, I had a rule in some of my teams of like, after the pause, don't do anything for like 30 seconds. Because whatever you do is going to backfire. Like, take
Maybe
30
you take
seconds
the
to
opposite.
get
Maybe
your
you
feel
just
back.
group up 5-man smoke, immediately try and
Yeah, that's another possibility. I mean, the 5-man group up is strong, man. People underrate the 5-man group up strat in Dota, but if you don't know what you're doing, just 5-man. What's the worst that can happen?
Have you played any Dota games since the patch?
You know, I remember a tournament in Austin called Manila Masters. You remember that one?
Okay, yeah.
The last tournament that RTZ won?
Okay. Does that hold a special place in your heart?
Yep. And I remember that Newbie were in the grand finals of that event that we played on EG. And they were running Night Stalker at the time.
Wait, so the last time RTZ won a tournament was with you coaching? Wow.
I'll leave that for people to figure out. They were running this Night Stalker support. They were running like Crystal Maiden Night Stalker support duo. The idea is it's super fast. You run around, you roam. And I remember telling Sumail and the team before they went in, like, whenever this guy hits nighttime, just 5-man his ass.
Yeah.
Just 5-man his ass. These guys don't know what to do. Like, they're gonna run around trying
He's
to pick someone up.
gonna
Just
walk into
5-man
you at
your
some
ass.
point.
Yeah, we just 5-man their Night Stalker that series and destroyed him. That was coaching back in like 2016, 2017. You know, now it's like 6 coaches with an analyst desk remotely sending you, you know, New York Stock Exchange level data in real time about warding heat map patterns and drafting priority numbers based on analytics over 6 years of like what this guy was picking in pubs from 6 patches ago, giving us a 2% edge in this series. Nah, man, take me back to the old days where coaches just said stupid shit and it worked. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm getting out of this is like literally any 2K player could have replaced you as a coach.
No,
Hey guys, during nighttime, group
this
up.
is not the conclusion you should be drawing. The conclusion you should be drawing is that sometimes things in life are overcomplicated, and sometimes you just need a kick in the butt and a simple answer to get the job done. And that's what we call some good old-fashioned American Dota. You know what I'm saying? You get it done the hard way.
Oh yeah, American Dota is definitely simple. Just
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
not good anymore, but it was good for a while.
in a different context of the word.
There is some truth in that. Dota, we were talking about how complex this game is right now, right? How many layers of complexity have been added onto Dota 2. It used to be you had a hero, you build some items, and you hit a guy.
Yeah.
Now I got to pick a hero. I got to pick a facet. I got to look at my passive. I got to choose between 1,000 different items. I got to see what stats my hero has if he's universal.
Choose
I got
your talent tree.
I got to choose talents every now and then, maybe some stats along the way. I got to choose where I'm going on the map, and when I do that, which gate I'm going to go through, which rune I'm going to pick up. Do I click this watcher? Do I kill this neutral camp? Do I stack it at this time? Oh, which camps do I want to stack? Which ones are going to buff others? When's Roshan die? When am I going to get off that Roshan? Is he north? Is he south? Is there a gate he's going to go through? When do I team fight the enemy team? Oh, it's a day and night cycle. Oh, we're going to delay that day and night cycle by 15 seconds for random heroes. And other heroes are going to see the whole map now. And they're going to have random fastest we're going to change in another 2 weeks. And by the time you do all of this, like, what are you even doing? It's not even a video game anymore. I'm playing Excel spreadsheet simulator.
Like, where does the game end? And where does the game stop? And where does my mind begin? I asked this question. Have we gone too far?
Have we gone too far?
So I miss the old days. You know, people say, oh, nostalgia this and like nostalgia that. If you went back and played Dota from 10 years ago, you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, you are hardcore nostalgia.
Oh,
level,
yeah?
right?
Then riddle me this, Austin. Yeah. Riddle me this. How come they keep bringing all these old-ass abilities back? Degen Aura, Necro units. We're about to see Poor Man Shield brought back in the next patch.
I mean, that's just because they brought so many elements to Dota that they have to recycle. They've run out of ideas.
It's too damn complicated, man. Sometimes you just need a good old-fashioned, simple strategy to get the job done because people don't know what the hell's going on. You think Toronto Tokyo knows what the hell's going on in this game? He just killed his carry. He doesn't know what the hell's happening anymore.
It all comes back to Toronto Tokyo.
You couldn't have done that 10 years ago. It wouldn't have been technically possible.
That's true.
These players are confused.
There was no
they need simplification, and that is what a great coach can give you. To circle back to my original point, Austin, a great coach can take all of that and he can distill it into the purest essence, and he can say, you know what, team? Maybe this game we're gonna turn back the dial. We're gonna turn back the dial of time a bit. And just run a drow strat. Let's just run a drow strat with 4 ranged heroes with some precision aura.
God, Dota really was a lot simpler back then.
Maybe that's all it takes.
Pick drow, pick a bunch of ranged heroes, that's jam it.
Maybe that's all it takes. That's all I'm saying. So don't undervalue the strength of simplicity, Austin. That's when you overlook the most powerful aspects of this game. And that is why I'm telling you, everybody in this patch is focusing on all the crazy shit. Oh, you can throw summons through a gate. Oh, you can see the whole map. Oh, you can blade dance over here and there. And I'm telling you, the most broken thing in this patch is it's always the armor. It's always the resistance, the base damage.
Simple numbers for a simple man.
That's right. Sometimes that's what Dota boils down to in the modern age, where it's just too difficult for anybody to know what the hell's going on. Soon they're going to replace us with AI because we won't know what the hell's going on.
Shout out to our lovely observers, by the way, JJ and Michelle. I believe Michelle is doing the driving of this drone right now across the map. Again, if anybody's tuning in and wondering what's going on, why there's a podcast running over a Dota game, we are waiting for Aurora's... Aurora is playing from a LAN cafe, and the ISP for that LAN cafe went out, and we have extended extra time for Aurora to come back into this Game 3, 70-minute game, elimination on the line. We would really hate to just force Aurora to take that abandon, but I mean, you said this is a true Southeast Asian experience for a game.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't get more than that.
They got it all now.
Yeah,
the 2-hour in between pause, waiting for the LAN cafe to come back online.
Yeah,
true C experience here. Unfortunate, but
now we're just missing physical assault, and then it would be good to go.
Okay, calm down. Calm down there. Now, there's been a lot of instances of players getting rough with their teammates in the history of Dota. All right, the most recent one is not the only one, and will not be the last. Tensions
yeah,
rise.
you never told me.
What?
I asked you for other instances of that.
Yeah, there are a lot.
And you said there are a lot, but
Yeah.
you weren't willing to tell me.
Bro, I'm not going to get sued.
You can't even tell me, like, a team?
I'm not going to get sued, man.
You don't have to name names.
I'm going to have some lawyer show up at my door at 2 a.m. serving me papers because I defamed somebody. Now, after these guys retire, of course I'll tell those.
Did you ever have a physical altercation happen on your team?
With who, man? What, am I going to have a physical altercation with Lelis and he's going to break my skull open?
No, you, but like I can't imagine you getting into a fight.
No, nobody on our team really fist fought. We did it with words.
Oh,
That's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Or you go and beat up Jack because that's, venture frustration on him.
Yeah, because he's sleeping, so it's an easy target. Or he's chain queuing for the 20th hour.
But I mean, dude, some of the teams I've been around and heard fighting and stuff, man, it gets nasty in there. Like, people think it's just a dream job. You're hanging out with your pals. It's like going down to the LAN cafe on a normal Tuesday. Oh, man, that shit is vicious. Vicious.
I mean, that's what back in the older days where you're playing LAN events, it was more for pride than money.
I mean,
screaming at each other from across the room.
I kind of miss that. Like, I'm not saying it was good, but like, again, I kind of miss the grit. You know what I'm saying? The gritty. Like, you go to a LAN, you're playing against this Chinese team. You don't know what they're doing. You're just playing against them on LAN. You just hear this guy screaming across the entire atrium. This ROTK just
screaming, nice!
You don't even know if he's screaming at you. You don't know if he's screaming at his team. You know what the hell's going on. You're just some dude from Oklahoma. Like, bro, I play on a CRT for like 8 years. What's this? This guy's out of my league, man. He's murdering somebody.
Pierce over there doesn't even have a desk to play his Dota on.
This guy's just screaming his lungs out the whole game. Like, bro, there's not enough shit for this many nice law in a game. Like, I'm telling you, there's not enough. What can possibly be going on? Like, this guy's killing like small troll camps, just screaming his lungs out. Like, what is it just doesn't make any sense. But that's grit. That's passion. I respect that.
Yeah, that is another memory that stands out to me. Is actually Frankfurt Major, the group stage, was in like this big hangar.
Yeah, they used to have them in these big atrium halls.
Because it was this big empty hangar with like little cubicle booths, but the open ceiling.
That's what I'm saying.
Meant that the sound could reverberate.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a group stage. I think it might even been a tiebreaker, or one of the last games of the tiebreaker was between like Newbie and IG or something like that. And oh my God, they were not that far away from each other. Too, their booths were like relatively close to each other, and you could just hear them screaming back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
It was great.
That shit was crazy, man. I don't understand how that even functioned. Like,
and the best part is like other teams would like when they get screamed at enough, they like it pisses them off, and then they're just like,
yeah, you start screaming back.
Then you win a fight, and then you just start screaming too.
I've been there, dude. You see players lose their minds on LAN. Like, I have seen the calmest, coolest, chillest dudes on LAN lose their minds. Just lose it in the jungle, in the mire of the shouting.
The heat.
It's infuriating, dude. You're sitting here playing a video game. This guy's like screaming at you. Like, what is this guy's problem? And you have no retort because you're stuck in the game. All you can do is scream back at him.
Just swept up in the emotions of the moment.
Yeah. There's definitely some players who've been like that. Unfortunately.
Oh, no. All right, guys. Unfortunately, that is going to call it. Game 3, Aurora.
Oh, come on. You don't have to play the victory music. That's a little rubbing it in a little. But I guess congrats to BetBoom. They advance here.
Yeah, we gave them as much of a chance as could possibly be asked.
Just sucks. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
I think everybody here would have wanted a different outcome. We wanted to see how this game ends.
I mean, I would say that BetBoom was winning.
Yeah, they were
the
favored.
Last, like, 20 minutes of the game.
But
at the end of the game, it is like a 70-30 matchup. But
it doesn't matter because you don't know what's going to happen. And obviously, this game could have gone either way. You have crazy heroes scaling. I would have liked to see the end of this game. I think everybody would. But unfortunately, that's the way she goes sometimes.
Yeah. It's the reality of esports. Sometimes the internet just holds you back. So, BetBoom will move forward. Aurora have been eliminated, and they're probably going to have to play out the Southeast Asia qualifier, which is going to be, again, that's a scary matchup right there. That is a roll of the dice. You do not know who's going to be going through that one, but we do know Aurora is gone out of DreamLeague now, and we know we're also going back to the panel.
Yeah, special shout out to Captain SVG, who literally talked for way over an hour. This game happened a long time ago, and it was already very long. We're going to break the series down anyway. I'm here with Slacks and Effie, and I kind of forgot what the game was about. I'm not going to lie, guys. This was a long...